Who is she? Who is she? Welcome, after like literally years, months, to another Doctor Who boyfriend review of Doctor Who. That's all there is to say. This time we will be reviewing and ranking the episodes in the Chris Chibnall era, formerly the most recent era, and no longer the most recent era. 31 episodes, and there's a lot to say about each one, so we'll get to that. I think this music might be too much of a vibe, actually. I think this might be too much of a vibe. I need to chill it out a bit. Okay, this is much chiller, and I apologize to everybody watching for the ad read that you're going to see at the bottom of the screen the whole time, because Daddy doesn't have an ad blocker. He's a boomer.
The woman who fell to Earth.
Yes.
So this is when we meet our brand new doctor, and we kind of do a soft reset on everything.
Yes.
And I don't want to dwell on the pilot too long, but I will just say that the cracks show right away, but the episode was reasonably fun to watch for me.
Yeah.
There's like a few things that we recognize as problems later that aren't grating the first time we see them.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way Jodie flings her sonic screwdriver around.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of brandishing it like a wand.
Yeah, or the way that like this episode has a cool villain, but if you think too hard about how he works or how they stopped him, it all falls apart.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that like they do to stop the villain happens off screen. A lot of events just seem kind of random, and we don't get to see a lot of personality from our new companions.
And
except,
also,
I guess, Ryan throwing a bike off a cliff.
Well, and let's talk about the companions, because unprecedentedly in the new series, like in the modern era of Doctor Who, this is our first time having multiple companions introduced in the same episode and creating a sort of 3-person TARDIS team.
Yeah. And their introductions are going to get really funny when we look back, because we meet Ryan and what we learn is that he has dyspraxia and he has a bad relationship with Graham, his sort of adoptive stepfather.
Step-grandfather, yeah.
Step-grandfather. And we meet Yaz, and Yaz's thing is like, she's a police officer in Sheffield, but she wants more. Like, she wants more interesting things and bigger cases.
And she's also capable of
and
she's also capable of like taking charge of a situation, which she does multiple times this episode. At first.
Yeah, so now that we've watched all that there is to see with these companions, we know that none of this happens. The dyspraxia doesn't come up. The relationship between Graham and Ryan gets explored, but what Yaz wants in this episode is not what her character ends up being about. The fact that she's a cop is alarmingly invisible in most episodes.
Yeah.
So like we meet these people, but we later learn that what we get to know about them is never gonna matter.
Yeah, because multiple times this episode, within the first, I would say like 25 minutes, 30 minutes of the episode, we see Yaz, for example, taking charge of a situation with those 2 women when we're introduced to her. She's like settling a parking dispute. Or when the doctor arrives on the train and she's trying to like get some information out of her and be like, hey, I'm a police officer. You can't just like come onto a train and start giving us orders. But then by the end of the episode, she's just sort of standing in a line with the other ones. She doesn't really... It's by the end of this episode that actually disappears, funnily enough.
You're right. When they get the bombs implanted in them and the blocking... This is where it begins.
The blocking.
This is the first time watching any television show ever where I was like, whoa, the blocking, as in the positioning of the actors on set relative to the camera, is noticeably bad to me, a layperson.
Yeah.
Every time anything happens, the doctor would be at the center of the action, and everyone else would be positioned in a straight line in the middle distance, blurry behind her.
Waiting for her to stop talking so they can ask a question for her to continue talking.
I'm ready to talk about rankings, considering that the characters get put bombs in them and the characterization is already bad. The character I liked, who I thought was a fourth companion, is actually killed off. The villain is solved off screen.
I just want to mention, first of all, the fridging of a black woman in episode 1. It's so crazy.
I'm not a big fan of labeling it and being like, oh, you can never do this kind of storyline with a person of a specific identity. The real problem I have is that she was the best, most charismatic presence in the episode, so it was a real shame that she gets thrown away.
Yeah, and for me, there is that sort of political aspect, obviously, for me personally, because
you're so much more woke than me.
Yes, but also because I don't think that there are certain plot lines that are off limits, I guess, for any character, to do with characters of color. However, it's about acknowledging the history of these tropes and actually talking about it. Because the fridging of characters of color is a well-trod, bad thing that has a history in comics and sci-fi. And it was just disappointing to see it replicated again. For no reason.
And I have to reiterate that I was chiefly disappointed because
she was the most interesting one
before.
Yeah.
So I was just by the end of the episode, I was like, oh, what was that? It's some of the lines were cute, but I feel like I'm launching into a season with 3 characters I feel only so about.
Yeah.
So even without the context of none of their stuff pays off, I think this episode's already a little really rough. Maybe D tier rough.
I would say C tier, just because I think it starts off solidly enough, and for a first episode, I didn't really have that much to say about it. I would be willing to put it down to D, but I also feel like this is not as bad as some of the stuff that's going to come up in D later.
You know how I feel about tier lists, Todor. We got to stay objective so that we could mash all of these tier lists together and there wouldn't be any quality skew where one series A is another series is B.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I think this for an introduction to a doctor, for an introduction to companions is subpar, but I don't think it's egregious in ways that are instantly noticeable until you get to episode 2. Does that...
I'm gonna compromise with you and say C is good, but I'm being so nice.
Yeah, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it because I'm trying to think about
thinking about the bomb implanting scene.
I know. I'm thinking about the scene where Graham goes off on Ryan's disability for no reason.
Oh yeah.
Actually, yeah. Let's put this
to establish that their relation. Yeah, this is a D tier.
This is D tier.
Let's go. Come on.
I hate that. So basically, the context is that Ryan is the reason that the story kicks off. He accidentally gives the alien permission to land, and when the other characters find out about this, oh my god, his step-grandfather, who knows that he has dyspraxia, basically goes off on a tear, being you're gonna blame this on your disability too, and it's the grossest scene I've seen in a lot of shows ever. It's good. I like it.
And it's so funny because it creates it completely recolors their relationship in a way that the show isn't prepared to back up later.
Yeah.
So you know that it was just the writers thinking that this wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Because it's ooh, that stings. This does not at all suggest that he actually profoundly disrespects Ryan.
Yeah.
He never apologizes for it later.
And it's never brought up again.
Cool because they have space adventures.
Yeah.
We should name the bottom tier because I'm seeing a bottom tier that just says new and.
Oh right, it's the throw it away tier.
Throw it away.
As we've had in all of these, we've always had a throw it away tier, and I think it's gonna get fed.
Yeah. It's going to get fed. We're going to be dwelling in that tier a little bit tonight.
The Ghost Monument, our second adventure. The Doctor...
Holy fuck, this...
At the end of their first adventure, the Doctor and companions are coming home from Grace's funeral, and the Doctor has lost her TARDIS, and so she creates this machine that'll take her closer to the TARDIS, and she accidentally whisks everybody away into the middle of space. Ooh, it's a good cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
What happens next? They get put on a planet where there's an amazing race-style rat race happening, and I'm just gonna like transition that into my review so that we can like get tempo here.
Please.
Because basically, they get put into a race that makes no sense. The pace of the episode slows to a weird crawl where we spend time taking naps on boats and having weird cul-de-sacs where the characters have alarmingly boring reactions to being sucked onto an alien planet. There's this subplot with a guy who doesn't trust them.
And that's
think that
all.
There's going to be conflict between the characters, and then they just tell them not to, so they don't. And then there's like guns that get placed on the mantelpiece and never used. There's cloth aliens that tell the Doctor she's the timeless child. Put a pin in that. It's
bizarre.
This episode is so amazing in its swings and misses, and it was already episode 2, and I remember finishing it and looking at Todor and being like, what the hell are we doing? There's like undergraduate script writing stuff that's just being left on the table, and the episode was profoundly unentertaining as a result.
Yeah, the fascinating thing about this episode is how profoundly empty and devoid of danger it is. You know, it's supposed to be this idea of like, oh, this planet is absolutely barren. How is that possible? And you and me are sitting there like, most planets are barren. What are you talking about? Like, this is bad sci-fi. It's not even bad. It's not even just bad TV. It's bad sci-fi. Because the entire episode, the Doctor is walking around going, it does. Oh,
points faster with the Scotiabank Ultimate Package.
We don't need the music.
An example of the gun on the mantelpiece is like, we go to this planet. It's so barren. Why is it barren? It shouldn't be. That's a weird thing to say, but oh well. Oh, all of the water is full of bacteria that instantly eat anything that touches it. And if you're watching Doctor Who, you're going to be like, okay, cool. They're going to demonstrate that for us. Like, they throw a rock in and it hisses. And then in the third act, maybe it'll be how the villain dies. I want to emphasize for you, if they don't demonstrate it to us, it's normal looking water. And it also does not matter.
The Doctor just scans the water, tells us that there's flesh-eating microbes in the water, and then says, don't touch it. And then they don't. And they just get on a boat, and the boat ride is without incident or event. There isn't even like a hole in the boat that's like, oh no, the boat might be sinking. They just sort of get to their destination, and they continue walking. And they have a nice little hike. It's nice.
Yeah, and it's like, forget about the water. We wasted your time. Now imagine a whole episode full of stuff like that, where people... it starts to get so inane because you're so quickly taught as a viewer that nothing that anyone says, even if they spend a lot of time saying it, is important.
Yes.
So I think this is a tragic episode.
Including the scene where they set up that the villain from the first episode, they find out that his his race, like his culture, his people are the ones who did the genocide on this planet so bad that it made the planet barren and exploded. And they set it up, and they're like they're
blew up.
They're very. I mean, the planet didn't blow up, but like that's why the planet is barren, is because of the episode 1's villain's people. And you're like, oh, okay, so this is going to be like Chris Chibnall introducing his recurring original villain. And I guess we'll put a pin in that.
And it kind of is.
He does recur, but we'll get to that. And yes, there is a cigar that explodes, and there's a character named Enzo who, earlier you mentioned that he has a subplot where he doesn't trust anybody. And I think it's so generous to call it a subplot. That's crazy. Because it's just a thing that he says over and over and over and over again. Just like, I don't trust anyone. I don't trust you. I don't care. I don't
But
trust
this
you.
this is a this is a pattern we're going to have to get ready for, though, because every subplot in a Chibnall episode is just a character says this about themselves, and you'll roll the dice on whether it'll really matter.
Yeah. And he has this like cigar that's like kind of self-lighting, but you like snap your fingers to light it. And they use that cigar to like explode a bunch of methane to destroy the psychic rags. Don't worry about it. But he doesn't even do it. Like, it's this moment where you're like, oh, okay, so his whole arc is that he doesn't care about people. But then this cigar that he really cares about, he'll have to sacrifice it to save everyone. No, he doesn't. The doctor just takes it from him and does it for him. And they have this 80-yard line where he's like, here you go, off screen. And it's really funny. But yeah, I feel like this is a tragic episode.
And he's not upset about it, even though he doesn't trust anyone.
Yeah. These first 2 episodes are really setting you up. If it sounds bad now, oh God, it's going to get worse. And I feel so bad saying that just right off the bat, but I feel like if you're watching this video, you already know what the score is, man.
So, tragic for this one.
Tragic.
How about Rosa?
Tragic for the Ghost Monument. Rosa? Oh, man. This is an episode that I particularly, like, do not like. Simply,
We know its many sins. We have discussed them at length.
Well, we're about to. The thing is, okay, so for a long time, I thought that it was getting the history wrong. And it doesn't. It does get the history correct. However, it's really boring. I'm sorry. It's so dull. And the actress that they got to play Rosa Parks is like a spitting image, but she's really doing her best with the nothing dialogue she's been given. And the accent work, mama. She's been woiking all her life.
Sin number 1 is that the villain is like a year 3000 futuristic anti-black racist.
Yeah, from the 75th century.
Yeah, and he's just like, this is where it all went wrong. And
he's trying to stop
just
Rosa from getting on the bus.
yeah. So we're like 2 for 3 on villains that I physically could not make sense of. There's a ghoulish conversation between Yaz and Ryan where they talk about like,
Yeah.
this period is so rough, experiencing this constant barrage of racism and you know, like, even from police. And then Yaz is like, but not me. She kind of, I'm one of the good ones. I'm a good cop.
Oh,
I'm a good cop's herself.
She 100% does that. Ryan has this speech about being like, you know, racism didn't stop in the 50s. I still get pulled over by the cops as a young black man in the UK. And the cops always harass me. And all Yaz can think to say is, not me, though. I wouldn't do that. I'm one of the, I'm the one of the good ones.
My third sin was the overall, like, atmosphere of, and this one is going to be one where it's like, I really don't have the credentials to talk about this. So just like, no, I am pulling this out of my ass, but like, it sat with me wrong. Is like the portrayal of segregation era racism in the United States is very odd in this, and you can tell that it's coming from a British perspective.
Yes.
Where it just depicts every NPC as just like instantly going into combat, so to speak, on site.
Yeah.
On the site of like a POC for any reason. When I think in reality, it might have been more elegant to display how that era's racism would have been seen as like normalized and polite, but insidious. I just think that would have been smarter, but instead they kind of aimed to show that it was like alien to the modern sensibilities and openly hostile. And there's like reasons you would want to do it like that, so this sin isn't as severe, but I
actually think it's the most severe sin, because this is supposed to be a historically set episode with the intention of educating its audience on racism. So I don't know what's educational about showing 1950s racism as this sort of like frothing at the mouth, no self-control, like because like they land and Ryan immediately gets open palm slapped by a white guy in the middle of the day in Alabama. And it's like, this is so over the top that it's hard to take seriously. And it shows...
Yeah, like when I tell you that all the NPCs just immediately turn around and go, person of color spotted, run, get them.
Yeah, activating Terminator mode. And it's like, it's about as educational as a Wikipedia article. So you're wondering, why is this an episode? And I just think I think Rosa Parks is a misguided character to, I guess, do a Doctor Who episode about. In a lot of ways, I don't think it would be impossible to do, but I think this is going to sound really weird, but I think to some extent the reverence that she's shown in the episode does the episode a disservice and does what the episode wants to do a disservice. Because you can't really make a fun racism romp, sci-fi romp with Rosa Parks, right? Like what they did with Charles Dickens, and he's running around fighting ghosts. Like you can't do that with Rosa Parks. So what you have to do is just have all the characters be like, "Whoa, that's Rosa Parks. We love you, Rosa Parks." And she doesn't get to be her own character with agency in this like sci-fi action adventure story. And it's a rough watch. I think it's like I don't know, it's lame, dude.
I think what I want to do is I want to credit this episode for having storytelling mechanics that essentially work at a base level.
Yeah.
And I think that might propel it to C tier. It was the best episode that I had seen in the season yet, until I thought about it too much. I remember that being my reaction.
What about when the credits started and you got to hear Rise Up?
Oh, that was a really bad song choice.
And I rise
thinking
up.
about that. The most just like you're in the change room at Zara type like girl boss inspiration anthem starts to play.
Well, it is like it was a song that was connected to the BLM movement at the time. So
oh no, so I just roasted Cancel Me Boots.
I mean,
That's too bad.
It's not a good song. It's not a good song anyway. So
we believe in free speech.
Well, yeah. So the ending of the episode shows the Doctor, Yaz, Ryan, and Graham on the bus, and Graham has to, and they have to stay on the bus so that there aren't enough seats for Graham to sit. So that they force Rosa to get up for him, and then they start playing "And I Rise Up," and it's the funniest thing ever. I think this is a D tier episode. I don't like this one.
That's right, everyone. The emotional climax of the episode is the overwhelming white guilt felt by the only white companion.
It's so embarrassing.
Listen, I'll let you put it in D tier because I will never fight for an episode from this era to be in a higher tier if I initially said so.
Yeah, because I was thinking C tier for like The Woman Who Fell to Earth, but then I was remembering all the other episodes we've put in C tier, and I'm like,
they're all better than the pilot.
Yeah, so Rosa is how I feel, where I'm like, C tier? We put much better episodes in C tier.
Let's throw it in. I'm with you, D. But I'm just worried that this is going to be a hilarious tier list because, like, the challenge will be, are we ever going to crack C in a good and honest way? And I think we will.
I think we will. But not with this next episode.
With this one.
Arachnids in the UK. A dumb pun and an even dumber episode.
An exercise in misery in which a hotel chain is run by, I guess, a parody of a hyper-capitalist Elon Musk / Mr. Big from Sex and the City, who runs around saying stupid things that bad writers think billionaires would say, while spiders eat people and suffocate.
Well, he's a Trump analog. But Trump also exists in this era, in this universe. So it's just a Trump analog, but also Trump exists, and they mention him in the episode. It's surreal. I don't know what they were thinking with any part of this plot line. The Doctor finally gets the companions back to their home time, and then they immediately get confronted with spiders, giant spiders, and you're like, okay, I like a B-movie plot. You know, I like a little, I like it when Doctor Who sometimes does, like, a little B horror movie monster plot, eight-legged freaks, whatever. But wow, again, boring. The spiders... This is where, for me, like, Jodie's interpretation of the Doctor really starts to grate, I would say.
I was just gonna say great.
So there's a scene where she meets one of these giant spiders, and she goes, and she's sort of, like, talking to it, but she's doing it in this, like, weird way that I'm like, why is she condescending to the spider? Like, she's talking to it in this, like, weird condescending way of, like, you're not supposed to be this big. And it's like, I'm sure he knows that. Like, I don't know. And then there's the ending where her morals start to...
Yeah. This is, I think, the major sin that we have to point on to rank it, is that one of them mutates so big that, like, the basic chemistry of how it converts oxygen in its body is breaking down. Like, it's suffocating just by being too big.
Which, cool. That is true.
I actually, I want to throw one rose at that.
One
that
Rosa?
Evil billionaire guy. One Rosa. The evil billionaire guy who exists to say something an asshole would say is like, well, I'm American and I've got a gun, and where I come from, we call that a solution, and I'm going to shoot it. And the Doctor's like, how dare you? We have to put the gun down and let it suffer and suffocate to death in peace.
To let it die a natural death.
It's like, yeah, the Doctor hates guns because it's wrong to perforate something, I guess.
Yeah. Right, because the gun thing came back in the Ghost Monument as well, when Ryan was like, oh, we're being chased by these, like, sniper bots. What if I shoot them with this gun that we found? And she goes, no, guns, never use them. And he shoots them, and they all die, and then they start coming back to life because they're robots. And she's like, see, this is why I don't like guns. And it's like... Because the thing you shoot comes back to life? What are you talking about?
Yeah, so this is going to be an ongoing theme that appears in a bunch of episodes, which is the Doctor will get moments to be like, boo, violence, but you can tell the writing team has no freaking idea why the character from the IP as a whole dislikes violence. Past Doctors have held guns, fought people, injured people,
shot people.
It's just not. Yeah, it's just not the Doctor's preferred way for really cool, complex reasons that Jodie, unfortunately, never gets to espouse because she just hates guns because of how they look and how loud they are, and they never work.
It's very Mothers Against Drunk Driving is what it, like, comes across as to me.
Listen, it is Mother's Day, and we are against drunk driving.
True.
It's more PETA. It's a bit PETA for me.
Yeah, so Jodie... Oh, sorry, not Jodie, the Doctor. Not Jodie Whittaker. Please leave her alone. She didn't do this.
Oh, sure, yeah, no.
So the 13th Doctor decides, in her infinite wisdom, to trap all the spiders in a panic room and just wait for them to suffocate and starve to death. And the billionaire guy is like, why don't we just, like, shoot them all and kill them anyway? And, like, the NPC of the episode is like, no, they deserve a natural, peaceful death. And I'm like, what is happening? And then in the end, billionaire guy, his name is Jack Robertson, by the way. No one accuse me. I know all of these characters' names. Leave me alone. Jack Robertson walks in with a gun and shoots the big mama spider who's suffocating under her own size.
And it's like his moral event horizon.
Yeah, and the Doctor's like, how could you? And he's like, I'm an American. It's so stupid.
Is this tragic or is this throw it away? I think it's as bad as the race, the like foot race episode.
I think it's throw it away, just because I can't think of a single way to make it more interesting or better. Like with the Ghost Monument, I could rewrite that to be an interesting episode. Arachnids in the UK, I would just throw it away and start with a new concept. I think this is awful.
All right, let's throw it in the bin.
And if you're noticing that we haven't spoken about the companions in any detail for the last 3 episodes, guess what?
Nothing to report.
Yeah.
Literally, nothing memorable has been done by them yet, except be like, whoa, we're on an alien planet. We've got back home.
They have stood in a line and told...
So many times.
They have stood in a straight line and told NPCs that the Doctor is the best person for the job and to stop bothering her.
Which is how Chibnall sees a companion's core function.
I guess so.
Other than being captured and rescued, which will never happen, because we can never do that again.
God forbid. Speaking of getting captured, well, rescued against your will, the Saranga Conundrum. The episode where we begin in media res, which is good. I like it when they do that, with the Doctor and companions at this, like, junk planet, I guess, looking for something, and they accidentally set off a mine, which explodes, and they wake up on a hospital ship, basically. So they have no TARDIS, they don't have, like, any way out of the situation. And it's a pretty okay setting. I like a hospital ship, you know. I'm a connoisseur of fine sci-fi. But our threat this episode is the Patang, a tiny little creature with acid skin and a hunger for energy that is ripping its way through the vents and corridors of this ship, and the Doctor has to stop it. There aren't really any themes this episode to talk about. It's just sort of a...
Yeah, no, I feel this... Yeah. This episode is, like, trying to be a standard episode, but I don't remember it very well. There's a moment where the Doctor's like, isn't this machine beautiful? Isn't science beautiful? Don't you love a warp core?
And Yaz is like...
The show doesn't have...
Sure.
Yeah, the show doesn't have, like, a scientific perspective, so that's really just a moment for us to realize on paper that the writers wish they were writing an educational show.
Yeah, and I think there's one thing that I want to bring up is this era's approach to sci-fi in general and how woefully outdated it is. And we're going to come back to that later, but, like, I want to specifically pick on the pregnant alien in this episode who's a male. The pregnant alien is male, guys. Men can't get pregnant. Males can't get... And that's the whole thing. That's the whole conversation. It's not even like a trans thing. It's literally just, isn't it crazy that this male alien can be pregnant? And you're like, I guess. I've also seen The Fifth Element. I don't know. What do you want from me? Like, this is so dumb.
Yeah, I mean, they don't, like, dwell on it too much, but you can feel them winking at the camera, being like, get pissed off about this in the comments, why don't you?
Yeah, it feels like
instantly, yeah.
No, yeah, it feels like, yeah, like I said, just like this outdated version of what subversive sci-fi is. Like, you know... In the RTD era, we had, like, openly queer characters, like, every other episode, from the future, from the past, from the present, all over the place. Whereas this episode, it's like, oh, a pregnant male alien. I guess I could have seen that in, like, some pulpy 60s, like, sci-fi. I don't know, it's just not an interesting concept, and it's given about the same weight as, like, a a wet blanket. I don't know. It's weird. Because they don't dwell on it, but they kind of explain it, because like the two main, like Ryan and Graham, have this thing where they're like, oh, a pregnant male alien. And he's like, yeah, on my planet the males give birth to males and females give birth to females. And you're like, okay, cool. What is this for? I don't get what this is. Like, is this to show like, whoa, this is Graham and Ryan's first alien encounter, and they're like so blown away because it's like so unlike Earth, but it's so basic to the audience, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and I also need to point out that the actor is not in a stitch of prosthetic. He looks like a
human.
Ginger human that you saw on the subway. His costume isn't even weird.
Even if they had just given him the Star Trek nose bridge, something.
Yeah. I think as it is, this episode is like tragic, or maybe throw it away. I think it's so dull. It's one of the first ones I didn't really remember.
It's so forgettable. I can't even think of, like, yeah, like even the companion interactions are nothing. Yeah, it's just like I feel mean putting it and throw it away, but I'm also like, what was this for? I don't get it. Like, I don't know what they were going for with this episode, you know?
There's a cute CGI monster who's eating the ship, and they find the doctor, with no help from the companions, finds a clever way to lure it, and then they jettison it into space, and it waves from the window. The end.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's so throw it away, isn't it?
I think it's trying to be the bog standard mid-season episode, but it's just being handled by like a sloppier team.
Yeah.
I would put it in tragic or throw it away. I'll let you tie break.
I think well, I'm going to put it in tragic, because I feel like we have some big fish to throw away later. And the Saranga Conundrum, if you're trying to do like a filler episode in a 10-episode season for some reason, sure, whatever, but like it could have been way more interesting than what it ended up being. And speaking of which, we have Demons of the Punjab.
Yay, Demons of the Punjab, an episode that threatened me with likability, that constantly teased me with the notion that I would really get into it, but was drowned in uncanny deliveries of unexplainable lines, villains with a motive, twist anti-villains with motivations that made no goddamn sense, and of course, the peak of it all, the doctor failing to recognize that a rifle wound was not alien technology.
Yeah, so in this episode, which, like you said, threatened to be a good time, Yaz is, by the way, Pakistani, and she's talking to her grandmother on her grandmother's birthday, and her grandmother is like, I want you to have this broken watch as like inheritance, I guess. Like, this is very meaningful to me. And Yaz gets really interested, and she's like, what's the story behind the watch? Why is it broken? And she's like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, it's whatever. Ever.
Yeah.
And Yaz is like, well, I want to know the story, and I have a friend with a time machine, so I'm going to bring the fucking watch to my friend, and we're going to go find out where this watch came from. And that's like a cool setup. That's what Doctor Who should be, right? Like the companion having a time travel thing, interest, and the Doctor being like, yeah, sure, let's see it out. And then they run into an alien or whatever. You know, like, it's a perfectly excellent setup for an episode. So they go back to India, and this episode is then revealed to be about the partition of India, which is when India was split into Pakistan and India, and the sort of political tensions that happened as a result. And we find out that Yaz's grandmother, who is Muslim, is dating a Hindu, and that's like the main like tension of the episode. And as I'm explaining it, I'm like, this sounds awesome. Like, as I'm explaining it, I'm like, how is this not the best episode? And unfortunately, it kind of is so far.
It actually, yeah, it's better than a lot of what we've seen, but unfortunately has this core problem of not making any sense.
Yeah. So there are aliens in this episode, which I don't think there needed to be, first of all. I feel like this episode really could have done without the stupid alien. Especially because what the aliens ended up being, which is like a twist anti-villain, where they're like, they seem really threatening and scary because they look like big spider bats or whatever. But they're actually here just to like vibe and honor people who died without anybody else around. So like to keep people company who have died alone. And you're like, again, cool idea. But geez, they could have maybe led with that instead of being threatening the whole time and leading all of the characters to be like, what's going on? Why are you doing this? And they're like, get out of here, we'll kill you, or whatever. Like they're so threatening for no reason.
Yeah, and then I just remember at several points being like, this story is like about Yaz's reaction to these crazy revelations about her family. But she doesn't have reactions to these things. She just states them back to the camera.
Yeah, she has one halfway decent conversation with Graham, but it's like not anything that we don't already know, and it ends really fast, and we don't really get to linger. I don't know, it's so, again, it's like this weird thing of like, you guys should be kissing yourselves on the mouths for this concept. Why are you wasting it like this? Like, why is the pace so laborious? Why are the villains so nothing? Why are the NPCs or the secondary characters, like, why are they not, like, why are the companions have nothing to do? You have 3 companions and none of them are doing anything. You can't do this. I won't let you.
Do we think that this is... I was going to say that this is like a D-tier episode because, again, D-tier is like bad that threatens to be good. And I think that is what this was.
I know, I was going to put it... I was going to put it in C tier, which...
What?
I know, but, like, I also... I don't know. I know I'm wrong. I want to be so charitable, but I'm also like, if this was in any other season of the show, if this was like in a good season of the show, it would be D tier, wouldn't it?
I just think the performances...
The acting is whack. The acting is whack this episode, and I don't know why. There's no reason for it.
It's really strange. I think... I'm looking at IMDb, it's like slightly higher rated than what's around it. We could do a little C tier.
Yeah, but we're not talking about IMDb. This isn't IMDb's tier list. This is ours. And yeah, when I first watched it, I was like, oh, absolute cinema. But then when I rewatched it with you, I was like, this is not as good as I remember it being. Oof. Also, it reuses a concept that Moffat used in his final episode with Capaldi, which I think...
Oh, right, so only 5 episodes ago.
Yes. And also it wasn't used well there either. I don't know why. Do these people not like science fiction? Like, anyway.
Yes,
okay.
they don't.
I know.
Television writers do not like sci-fi. This is... Sorry, I could have a whole separate rant about this.
I think
they do not like the genre.
I think Moffat and Chibnall don't really vibe with sci-fi. I know I'm going to come off as a glazer, but I do think that at least RTD had, like, some idea of... like a sci-fi concept, and he seems to like the genre, but like, wow, this episode could have been... this is do I want to put it in tragic even, because it has so much potential, or do you want to put it in D?
I just thought tragic was the tier below D. I think this is just D tier.
Yeah, okay. Because tragic for me is like an episode that like comes across like it should be good, and then is just like, for me, I guess when I think of tragic, I think of mismanaged coolness.
Right.
And I do think that this episode has a little bit of that, but I don't know. I think, yeah, D is fine. I'm not going to fight you on it.
Speaking of mismanaged, Kerblam.
I like that. That's a good
episode
pun. I like that.
The episode that we can credit with, like, the final character assassination of Jodie's doctor in Your Eyes.
No,
that
the
just
first
gets
one.
Retained.
Because there's a worse one coming, baby.
Oh, I just figured that it was right here and it was a death blow. You just did not like her after this.
After this, I was like, okay, here's the thing. When I'm watching Doctor Who, I know that different writers, just by dint of the show having, like, different guest writers, some writers are going to have different visions of a character. And I'm not always going to like the vision that a new writer has for this character. And this is one of those situations for me, but...
Yeah, welcome to the episode where Jodie's doctor simps for Amazon.
So, Sorry, I was just going to finish my thought, which is that when I first watched the episode, I thought that was the situation where I was like, okay, this is just like a guest writer really getting it wrong. And then her morals don't get any better after this, and you think, no, this is what they wanted for her. That's dark.
Yeah. So
in this episode, Jodie gets oh my god, I keep saying Jodie. The doctor gets a message from... The doctor, please! The doctor gets a package from Space Amazon, which teleports into the TARDIS while they're in the time vortex, which is really concerning, by the way. That should not be happening. And she gets really excited because it's Space Amazon. And you're like, oh, okay. Okay, she can be excited about stuff. That's fine. Let's keep going. But the package has a message in it that says, help me. So they go to the Kerblam warehouse. And the doctor excitedly talks about how 90% of the population is unemployed and 10% of the people get to work on this moon. This moon that's been converted into a moon-sized warehouse.
I forgot about how stupid the message that they do get across is. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is in a world where everything is automated, but it's a profoundly unjust society because I guess there's no need for people to work, but there's no UBI or any such equivalent to, like, allow people to live leisured lives since there's no labor. So just, like, everyone suffers except for the tiny minority of jobbed humans who get to be mistreated and abused at this giant moon-sized fulfillment center. And the tact the narrative takes with this is literally just, give humans their jobs back. Humans have a right to work. What's happening here at Kerblam is great, and the only problem is that more humans need jobs at Kerblam so they can all be abused.
It's so crazy. Because, yeah, it's tough because, like, on one hand you want to talk about the plot of the episode, but the plot is really boring. Because the themes are the more interesting and troubling part of this narrative.
Botched.
Yeah, the final... so anyway, like, the plot ties in, kind of. It's like this murder mystery where it's like, oh, who sent the help me message? Is it the guy that we meet? Is it the girl that we meet? Is it one of the two other characters that we meet? And it's like, no, the AI that runs the warehouse sent the help me message because one of the employees is like this domestic terrorist who wants to blow up a bunch of packages to make people distrust automation so that other humans can get their jobs back.
But he just took it too far and went about it the wrong way, Todor.
And then the doctor has this amazing speech where she says that the system isn't the problem, the system is working just fine. It's people like him who are ruining it for everybody. And people
you
like...
guys, he's not paraphrasing. This is literally her speech. She says the words, "The system isn't the problem."
Yeah, the system isn't the problem. It's the people who use and abuse the system. That's the problem. People like you, Charlie. I have that speech memorized. I have it memorized because it's galling.
Yeah, it's like really alarming. So anyway, the characters just all passively get digested by this meat grinder of a story with no soul.
Yeah.
And one of, again, pattern, tick, inscrutable villain with insane motivations that I completely couldn't justify by the end.
Yeah, and what's fun about it, too, is that, so he has developed this, which I like. I don't care what anybody says. I hate
this, by the way.
I live for the explosive bubble wrap. I think that's so dumb and campy and fun, and in a better episode with a better tone, I think nobody would be complaining about it. So he develops this like explosive bubble wrap that when you pop it, it blows up and turns your body to mush. And to show him the error of his ways, the AI of the company kidnaps the girl that he likes and explodes her. And then
yeah, she's completely innocent, by the way.
And then the doctor goes, "See, Charlie, the AI was actually like trying to show you how it would feel if someone you love died." And with no irony. There's like, ew, what is this?
This is throw it away is what it is. I think this episode is like I sat and thought about it for 15 minutes and then I was like, this is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. It's nasty.
Yeah, boot nasty. Throw it away.
Oh, also we get a dyspraxia. Sorry, let's talk about the companions for just a half second. We finally get another dyspraxia mention with Ryan when him and Yaz and Charlie, before the reveal that he's the villain, are about to jump onto a conveyor belt to get to a different part of the factory really quickly, and he's like, "My dyspraxia." That's literally, I don't know. And then you're like,
that's all we get.
And it's like, oh, okay. And then he gets on the conveyor belt and it's fine because it's a conveyor belt.
No, don't worry, guys. We're representing disability. He says he has his disability before he does things that other characters do with no issue. That's disability representation.
Throw it away.
Throw it away.
It's ironically very guns don't kill people for a doctor who hates guns on principle. Very much that. Like, she doesn't like guns because they can kill people, but she is totally cool with the AI of an abusive company killing people, I guess. Oh, and sorry, the resolution of the episode. I just have to mention it so quickly. At the end of the episode, everyone's standing around, job well done, and the doctor's like, "What you gonna do now?" to like the upper management of the company. And they're like, "Well, we've given everybody 2 weeks paid vacation, and we're committed to having this be a human-run company with like an extra 20% of humans in it." And I'm like, what?
Sounds like the domestic terrorist was right.
Literally.
Sounds like he just needed to do something extreme to convince the company that change was necessary.
It's so funny. Speaking of...
I would have loved it if the company was like, okay, we have learned a lesson here. If you allow even a single human to work in the lower branches of a company, he could get up to some crazy shit. So we are now 100% automated. No more humans.
It's very Pizza Party. The episode should have been called Pizza Party. An episode that should not have been called Pizza Party, though, is The Witchfinders. Because there was no pizza. Because it's a historical episode.
That's right. They hadn't invented pizza yet because witches were stopping people from doing so.
Now, I was very excited about this episode because it's about witch hunts in, the witch hunt times, I guess. I don't know. In England.
We're in the 1500s, I believe, or early 1600s.
Yeah. And, the doctor is this weird, knowledgeable woman now with this magic wand. And you're like, uh-oh. this is going to get her in trouble. We're in the witch hunt times. Oh no, what's going to happen? And unfortunately, like, not that much.
Yeah.
Again, I struggle to talk about this episode because I don't think it's like egregiously bad like some of the other stuff we've talked about. But again, it's just not the most interesting episode we've ever had.
I'm almost wondering if, like, there's not a huge list of sins, but I'm wondering if, like, this is our first C?
Yeah, I guess so.
It kind of, like, has an alien. I mean, oh, wait, but the villain ends up stupid, you guys. Wouldn't you believe it?
That's right.
The alien that's causing people to turn into, like, bog witches and zombies and stuff is, like, basically the intergalactic equivalent of a serial killer who was locked up on Earth by a superhumane society that never imprisoned and executed anyone. They just sealed them on low-tech planets where they could wreak havoc.
Which is
Very
insane.
enlightened, very cool.
And it's so
very science fiction.
And also it's very it's shockingly not tied to any of the themes of the episode. Like, the idea of an alien who is wrongfully imprisoned on another planet is really... And then it's like during witch hunt times, and you're like, ooh, are there going to be thematic parallels? No, there aren't. It's just a separate thing that happens, and that's it. It's so crazy. Like, it actually drove me crazy watching it and just being like, where are the themes? Like, this could have been an episode. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
So the alien... So, like, there's this, like, weird thing where you have, like, this alien who is possessing dead bodies, and it's like this interesting image, this like kind of spooky imagery of these dead women who have been executed for witchcraft coming back to life because they've been possessed by this alien. But it's never like, I don't know, again, it's just one of those episodes where you're like, okay, so there are going to be themes, and then they're not explored, and then the episode ends, and King James just says a lot of racist stuff to Ryan. Oh yeah, King James arrives in the episode played by Alan Cumming, who is doing a fabulous job because it's Alan Cumming. Duh. But he just sort of exists.
I think Alan Cumming alone might make this C tier.
I think
like
so.
A really mediocre episode that I would forgive in a better season.
Yeah, and again, like you said, there aren't like egregious sins. Like, I don't know that I would necessarily skip this episode on any like moral grounds the way I would Arachnids or Kerblam.
Or all the others we've listed so far, actually. I don't think we've hit any rewatchables yet. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I would put this in C.
I would put Witchfinders in C. This is the... also, the Doctor gets kind of put in some hot water because she's a woman with a magic wand. But, like, it's so not part of the episode, so, like, who cares? I don't know. Like, again, there are these moments with this era where the Doctor's new gender that they're performing, because this is the first time a woman has been the Doctor, and a couple of the episodes have tried to play with this so far, specifically Demons of the Punjab in a genuinely sweet sequence, where she gets to be in like the ladies' tent, and she's like excited and having a nice time. And then this episode where it's like, oh, she's a witch, and she's like, oh, this wouldn't have happened if I was a man. It's very Tina Fey feminism. I love Tina Fey, but it is kind of that. But like, it's never like, I don't know, touched on ever. It's never like explored in like a meteor way. And it's just a shame. It's a lost missed opportunity, I guess.
Now let's talk about It Takes You Away.
Maybe the most baffling episode of the season.
I passionately hate this episode, and also I think we're like halfway through our time and we're not done the first series, so we probably can't recap everything. But this is another episode where the Doctor's morals are terrible, and like we're supposed to sympathize with a father who invents an elaborate lie for his disabled daughter so he can fritter away to another world. And it's just, it's just tough to watch acting in a inexplicable setting in service of a really unsatisfying story. And I think for me, it's a throw it away.
Yeah, sorry, just for like quick context. Doctor and companions who don't do anything this episode, don't worry about it, land in Sweden or Norway, and they find this blind girl living in a boarded up house all alone, and there are like these monster sounds that come from the forest at night, and they're like, ooh, what could be the monster? And they find out that it's a speaker system that her dad left to scare her into not leaving the house while he left to live in another dimension with her dead mom, and didn't tell her about it. And it's not her dead mom, it's a facsimile of her dead. It's very M. Night Shyamalan, yes.
Yeah, and then at the end the doctor's like, you gonna be a good dad? That's your dad. Hug him. So glad you
Sorry, can you repeat that? You cut out.
I was just going to say, at the end, the doctor's like, that's your dad. Be good to each other now. Forgive each other, whatever.
Yeah, and he doesn't even, her dad doesn't even leave the other world because of any, moral reason. He just gets thrown out because he's like, wait, you're not my real wife. And you're like, yeah, I know. What are we talking about? And then he doesn't even apologize to his daughter. There isn't even a scene where he's like, hey, I'm sorry for psychologically abusing you.
Yeah, again, the story has no idea what's wrong with it.
No.
That could be the theme. That could be the verbal theme of this entire tier list.
Yeah.
Because the story never knows what the hell's wrong with it.
And I guess this is the episode where Graham and Ryan's arc, in big quotation mark, kind of comes to a close because Ryan finally calls Graham granddad. That's it. And then they're okay now. And it comes out of nowhere because in this other world that they went to where dead people are the facsimiles of dead people are created by this other universe. I don't want to get into the whole explanation of it. Graham goes over there and he finds Grace, his dead wife. Ryan never gets to talk to her, even though that's her grandson. But it's Graham, the white guy, who gets to talk to his dead wife, but not her actual, family. It's so weird. I don't get what they're going for.
Yeah, it's alarming. I actually think this is either... it's not tragic. There's nothing tragic about it.
No.
I would throw it away.
I think it's kind of a throw it away, too. A lot of people like this episode. I don't know why. It's baffling. It also just... I just kind of want to quickly... No, actually, you know what? I'll talk about it in the next episode, which is called The Battle of Ranskor Avkolos. Which...
Okay, cool. Another one I'm going to have to look up. I remembered it takes you away. But what in the sweet fuck?
It is the finale where our episode 1 villain comes back.
Ooh, hate to sound like a broken record, but just dumpster episode.
Dog water episode. Now, a little bit of backstory. Back in episode 1, we encountered a stenza named Sim Shah. This is so crazy. I can't talk like this.
Yeah, no, people don't know what these words mean. There's an alien, he kills people. He's from a warlike race.
No, he doesn't.
The doctor...
kill people. He captures them. Okay, sorry. Okay. Quick backstory. In the first episode... No, listen. We need it.
It's never necessary. These stories are not good.
Quick backstory. In the first episode, Simshaw is doing a hunt, I guess, for a human, and his prize is the human. He takes them, he kidnaps or captures them, and he puts them in a stasis bubble where they, in his own words, exist on the cusp of life and death for all eternity. And the Doctor's like, that's fucking disgusting. What's wrong with you? And causes him to transport to a random place in the universe.
The Doctor dealt with a villain in a really stupid way, and it backfires predictably. Well, instead of backfiring predictably, it backfires 50 times worse than the most contrived writer could ever imagine, because he's teleported to a godlike being of infinite power and naivete who instantly worships him and pledges fealty. He then uses it to fucking put 5 inhabited planets in stasis and just, like, I guess, inconvenience or radically ruin countless lives. And the Doctor's like, oopsie, I didn't mean it like that.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that is my favorite line of the whole season. Because the villain accurately is like, I know what the consequences of my actions are, and these are the consequences of yours. And she's like, I didn't mean it like that. Like, she's defending herself. It's so crazy.
The whole thing feels like a takedown of, like, dogmatic faith from someone who has never themselves been religious. I levy that criticism at a lot of media because guess what? It's everywhere. It is
a prevailing problem, especially in science fiction, of these atheist writers. And I'm an atheist. I'm like an anti-theist. Like, I'm crazy. But it is this, like, bad thing where, like, atheist writers will refuse to understand why religion exists, why people have faith in the first place, and then try and critique it from that position. And it's always embarrassing.
Which is usually just like, a person behaves really stupidly. I mean, you know, knowing what Reddit atheists are like and assuming that these writers are Reddit atheists, it's like you can't blame people for believing the actions of very dogmatic people are illogical.
Yeah.
But you can't make it even dumber in your writing and think you're saying something.
Exactly. And this whole, like, arc that they go on is because the Doctor's like, hang on, guys. How come your God knows who I am? How come he recognizes me? And it's like, why is this working? Because the lady is like, oh, you're right. How would my God know who you are if he's a God? And you're like, what are we... what? What? Like, this doesn't make any sense at all. Like, it's so bananas.
Nothing that happens in this episode is cool. They have these patches that prevent the planet from making them go psychically insane.
I guess.
And then they have to take them off at the climax. And then there's not really tension built by that, which is crazy because that was their one way to build tension.
Well,
they just kind of grab their heads and go, ow, oh, my brain, as they run away.
Yeah, that's the payoff to that setup, is just them going, ow. And you're like,
oh, my brain, oh.
My brain. Wait, that was like a running joke when we were watching it, because I think this is the episode where
because that's a verbatim line.
Yeah, where she takes off the patch and just goes, my brain. And you're like, oh my God. Also, I can't believe Chris Chibnall would openly admit that this is a first draft that didn't get through because he was too busy trying to help the other first-time TV writers with their episodes, which also didn't turn out any good. Why?
Yeah, we really gave the keys to just... it feels like you gave the keys to interns.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually the level of media we got out of it.
Yeah. So this is going and throw it away, right?
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. I can't stand this shit.
Yeah. Resolution. My resolution is waning.
Remind me what happens in this one. See? Perfect excuse to recap.
This is our first New Year's special because Chris Chibnall decided to be #different. Instead of a Christmas special, we get a New Year's special where they go back and there is... and we meet Ryan's dad, estranged father. More on that later. And there is a Dalek who has been... was cut up like 1,000,000 years ago or whatever, cut up into 3 parts and buried all over the world. And Claire from Ghost, yeah, and the main character from Ghosts accidentally thaws one of the Dalek pieces, which makes the others teleport to it. It's so stupid.
They're in the sewer or something.
It's so stupid.
They find it in the sewer. She gets possessed. She kills an innocent traffic officer. She goes bad. I think this is a D-tier episode if I ever saw one.
Yeah.
I almost don't have much else to say about it. It's just, it's tough to watch a character slip through the fingers of the protagonists and just go on a small killing spree that they're gonna remember when they're not possessed anymore, and have the narrative be like, isn't this fun?
Yeah, it's so dumb. And yeah, like, I don't even want to talk about the Dalek stuff because it's literally so uninteresting. And I know a lot of people seem to think that Chibnall, quote unquote, got the Daleks right. And I'm like, in what way? I'm sorry. I know you don't like the Daleks, and that's okay. But I think this is like, I don't know. Like, this isn't the most egregious one, but it's very dumb. I don't like it. The more interesting thing is that we get to meet Ryan's deadbeat dad, who is also a bum and not in his life, and didn't come to his own mother's funeral, and yada, yada, yada. But again, it goes back to this thing of, like, I'm not saying that, like, black men can't be portrayed as deadbeat dads on TV ever. Like, sure. But again, there's just, like, such a history to this trope, and it just keeps... I feel like the Chibnall era's handling of race and having a black companion is, like, I don't know. It doesn't pass the sniff test for me. Like... Sorry?
I said for you, a white man.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like the whole time I'm watching it, and every time Ryan... I don't know, every couple episodes or so, they give Ryan, like, just kind of like a racist moment. Like, not like a villainously, like, racist, but it's just this thing where it's like, oh, when they're trying to get the spiders into the panic room, he blasts the most obnoxious rap you've ever heard. Oh, he has a deadbeat dad and his nan is dead. And it's just, I don't know. It's like so much of it is like this weird thing of like, yes, this is probably relatable to somebody, but I feel like the way the show is handling it is coming from like a really weird place. I don't know. I'm still trying to unpack it, but I just don't like these weird tropes that they keep bringing back without ever, I don't know, thoughtlessly, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense.
Where does that leave the episode for us?
I think this is D tier. I don't know. It's so uninteresting. It's so dumb.
I'm in agreement there. I think it was quite forgettable to me as a special.
Also, the Dalek builds its own armor, and it uses just scrap metal from a junk shop, and it creates like missiles and lasers. It's so stupid. I hate this episode. Spyfall parts 1 and 2, baby.
Yeah. So first we're going to evaluate the story, then we're going to evaluate whether the two parts belong in different tiers to each other.
This is
right.
Yeah, this two-parter is actually bananas, dude.
And I think man, I thought I was going to be nicer than this. I thought there were going to be little bright spots, but I have a pretty negative perception of this two-parter by the time I finished it.
Yeah. Definitely by the time we finished it.
Yeah, the first part shows like a bit of intrigue, a bit of promise, a bit of drive, and then it's like, cool, but it all hinges on how it plays out. Is this the one where we meet the Master again, and we leave him with the bad guys of World War II?
Oh, yeah, baby. That's in part 2. Don't you worry about that.
Okay, so part 2 is going and throw it away.
So part 1 sets it up as this like spy story, like it's a very James Bond, we're having fun, whatever. And then the big twist at the end is that the Master is back, and he's annoying.
And his twist reveal is so horrible. The way he's, oh my gosh, they're just like, wait, we all had to run and jump onto this moving, taking off plane. But you said you were a slow runner, and yet you made it onto the plane. And he's like, you're right. I'm a fast runner. You found me out. I'm actually the master. Like, I swear it is almost that stupid.
Yeah, you're actually really close, because they get on the plane and he's like, oh, I'm not a very good runner, sorry. And the doctor's like, no, you sprinted in the Olympics. And he's like, oh, you got me. I'm the master.
Yeah, it's just, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
And, you know, a lot of people like this incarnation of the master, but I think the gaping chasms already show in his very first scene as the master. Because he has all of the unhinged manic energy with none of the, like, acting charm. Do you know what I mean? Like, the character isn't charming, but the actors who have played him in the past have a certain gravitas to them. And I just don't think Sacha Dhawan nailed that part of the character. Like, John Sims and Michelle Gomez are very fun in the role. You can tell they're enjoying themselves, but they're still giving, like, an iconic performance. This one, woof.
Yeah, it's tough. And I've liked this actor in other roles, and it's a shame.
He's a great actor, don't worry. Yeah. He's a good actor. So part one, I don't really care. Like, it's so boring. I don't know. I mean, okay, part one is not boring, but it has less to say about. Part two...
Yeah, there's like the CEO who's working with the glowy guys, and they infiltrate his party, and...
Yeah, whatever.
It's got an average amount of the problems the rest of the season has, where the stakes are sort of muddy, and nothing makes total sense once you figure it out.
Yeah, whereas part two is a fever dream. It's a fever dream. So the first thing I'll mention really quickly is that we haven't talked about the companions a lot so far, which is pretty shocking considering we always talk about the companions pretty substantially in our other reviews. And in part two of the story, the companions are on their own. They're on the run, and they can't find the doctor. She's been transported through time without her TARDIS, and she needs to just, like, find a way back to them. And you're like, oh, yes, okay, we have 3 companions. They're on the run. They got the doctor. She's missing. They're going to have to, like, do stuff. They're going to have to do stuff, right? They have to do stuff. And they don't. They just sit... They just stand in a line and talk about, man, I wish the doctor were here. And then the doctor shows up and fixes the plot. And the companions are standing in a line again. It's so insufferable. I'm going to keep saying it, but wow.
Again, task failed. Like, update on where the companions are at is that Ryan sometimes calls Graham Granddad now.
Yeah.
That's all that's changed.
Yaz is still there. But the real sin is the secondary historical characters that they bring into the show.
I almost forgot about those. This is such a bummer.
So the doctor gets transported back to like 18 whatever, and she meets Ada Lovelace, the inventor of the computer. Kind of. History is complicated, but like...
Foundational computing credit
yes.
earned. And
like, it's a character, it's a historical figure that I have been hungry for in Doctor Who. Like, make her a companion, dude. Like, Ada Lovelace fucking rules. And then... her and the doctor, Ada Lovelace and the doctor, get transported to 1940s Paris somehow. Don't worry about it. I know how. I don't want to explain it.
We're in Vichy, France. Get into it.
Yeah. And they meet Noor Inayat Khan, who is a, like, famous World War II codebreaker, Indian female codebreaker, who was instrumental in... Paris being able to like drive out the Nazis basically, and she's such a fascinating character, somebody who I learned about through the show, just in the same way that I learned about the partition of India through the show. But, like, they get about as much to do as the companions. And it's so heartbreaking to watch.
They actually get 2 lines between them.
Yeah.
And they pretty much stand still on set. And it physically hurts because you can tell that they're, like, well cast.
Yeah.
And that, like, they're just ready to be charismatic and give interesting perspective. Never happens.
The
Never
actors,
materializes.
the actors who play the 2 of them are carrying, and they're buckling under the weight of the writing.
Yeah.
And basically, again, just like episode 1 of the first season. Oh yeah, this is the premiere of season 2, by the way. Just like in the premiere of season 1, the problem is handled off screen. The Doctor gets back to the modern day and is like, "Hey, I stopped your plan. Eat shit." And I'm sitting there like, how? When? Why is this written like this? And Khan and Lovelace are standing next to her, and they're like, "We did it." And you're like, "Where were you people?" This is
terrible.
I think so. I'm gonna say that Spyfall Part 1. I think I'm gonna do these separately. I think I'm gonna rank them separately. Part 1, I'm gonna put in C tier. I think.
No,
Not C
it's
tier?
not that good. It's D.
I think it's okay. Here's the thing: as a part 1 of a story, I don't see it having the same issues as The Woman Who Fell to Earth or Rosa. Like, I still think it's like a fun romp that's let down by its tragic second half.
I guess the companions get to go run some
Yeah,
data gathering.
That is the nice thing. In the first episode, Ryan and Yaz get to go infiltrate the villain's office, and it's actually not a bad scene. I actually kind of like the scene where Yaz is like interviewing him and putting her cop skills to use for once.
So yeah, I'm thinking C to throw it away is okay. I would prefer D to throw it away.
Okay, I will put... Oh my god, we didn't even mention it. When they get to 1940s Paris, the Master is chasing the Doctor through time. And the Doctor convinces the Master to come meet her on the Eiffel Tower to have a standoff. And he shows up in the funniest little uniform you've ever seen a man of color wear. He is dressed up as a villain of World War II. And the bad guys of World War II. And he's like, ha ha ha. I mean, that is what he sounds like, but it's just funny. So the Doctor's like, you're not exactly white, by the way, because it's Sacha Dhawan and he's Indian and it's fine. And he's like, haha, I'm using a perception filter, which isn't really what a perception filter does. Whatever. That's lore stuff. It doesn't matter. So they have this standoff, and he's like, haha, I'm wearing this perception filter that makes people see me as white, even though I'm not. And you're like, okay, cool, whatever. Or not notice that I'm brown, I guess is more correct. And the Doctor, like, she's like, well, I just alerted the Nazis that you are a spy for the British and that you're a double agent. So she's won. She's you know, she succeeded. He's already been caught. Fine. Before she gets on the elevator for the Eiffel Tower, she then waves her sonic screwdriver and says, I jammed your perception filter. Now they'll see the real you.
And when he comes back in the current time to see that he's been beaten, essentially, the implication is that he had no way to time travel, so he just was in a Nazi concentration camp and waited it out because of the actions of our hero.
And it's never, ever, ever touched upon how fucked up that was that she did that to him. Like, there's moral relativism, and then there's whatever this garbage is. Like, I feel like a past Doctor, I think the 10th Doctor would have done that. I think the 10th Doctor would have been like, hey, by the way, I'm going to send you to a concentration camp. And then the companion would be like, what is wrong with you? Like, I think the show used to be smarter about this sort of thing. Like, the Doctor is allowed to do fucked up stuff, but usually the story has something to say about this. Whereas in the Chris Chibnall era, this was the right thing to do. Like, there are no bones about it. Chris Chibnall just thinks that this is like...
Yeah, you mean that the narrative takes her side utterly and unquestioningly.
Exactly. The narrative 100% takes her side, and it's dark. It's bleak. I know that, like, you want to put Spyfall in D tier, and I respect that. I just don't think it's nearly as, like, crunchy as the episodes in there. Like, I feel about it the same way I feel with the Witchfinders, but Spyfall Part 2 is going and throw it away.
Okay, I think I can agree with this.
I can excuse racism, but I draw the line at cruelty against AI.
Oh, if that ain't the commentary that Doctor Who accidentally espouses.
Ooh, Orphan 55. Let's talk about morality and politics.
We've reached the lowest rated episode of the entire era, I think.
I think it is. A lot of people like to, because they're brainless, unlike me, like to say that this is as bad as Fear Her from Series 2, which is the girl drawing the pictures because she's been possessed by an alien. No, this is worse. This is so much
way worse.
You people are so mad.
It's bad.
But like, ooh, this feels like a joke. This feels like a parody of Doctor Who.
Yeah, I just I remember it pretty well. I remember this era really well because each was like a new flavor of what the hell is going on. It's like a story where you think it's going to go in one of 5 directions Doctor Who would typically take it, and instead they're just wandering through a tunnel, getting slowly killed by like evil toxic dudes when they're supposed to be at an exotic extraplanetary resort. There's several really annoying side characters who have very repetitive dialogue.
And baffling motivations.
Yeah, really confusing motivations. Nobody acts like a human the whole time. And then there's this limp twist at the end where the crazy hostile planet they're on is Earth. And the monsters attacking them are what is left of the human gene line. Ooh. Often we find with IMDb it's like for superficial reasons. And I think the valid superficial reasons here are, 1, there's annoying side characters that are just hard to watch. And 2, the weird preachiness.
Yeah.
Like the sort of environmental preachiness, just busting through the narrative. I personally love environmental preachiness. I think we should get preached to about the environment all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't mind preachiness as a rule, as like a concept.
I'm talking about IMDb people.
Oh, right. Sorry.
And so like. The problem is, if you're going to have an environmental message, there's a bit of an onus on you to not be really stupid.
Yes. And this is kind of where I come back to the disinterest in sci-fi, I guess, where, the twist of like, ooh, this planet that's been destroyed by climate change is actually Earth. Like, okay, I know, like... We've seen this a million times, right? And like, oh, these future monsters that we're fighting are actually human. And you're like, I know. Like, this is so boring. Why do you not have an interesting take? And especially, again, and it kind of goes back to Rosa as well, where you have this environmental political message, but it's so basic. It's so, like, cartoonishly handled.
I've got to jump in. We know we don't like it.
Yeah.
Are we going to say throw it away and agree with the crowd?
I kind of want to put it in tragic, but I'm also like, the rewrite that this would take would be significant.
I think throw it away.
Because, like, I can imagine an episode where it's like, oh, we landed on this spa planet, and the natives of the planet are not happy, and at first we think they're monsters, but actually no, they're right, and whatever. You could do a story, but like, I don't know, this was garbage. Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror.
Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror.
Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror.
I'm going to say right away, I'm gravitating a little bit towards B tier for this one.
Yeah.
I think it's in a place all its own, where it's just an episode so okay that you can't explain the failure of everything around it.
Yes. I like the actor who plays Tesla. I think he's doing an excellent job. He has good chemistry with the Doctor, who gets to kind of maybe be interesting. Like, there's a spark here for the first time.
And speaking of things that are for the first time, there's a villain whose motivation I basically understood, who wasn't stupid, but who got outsmarted by the Doctor in a legitimate little third act twist that I found satisfying.
And
like, they actually bested that evil broodmother.
And was thematically relevant.
Other things that are randomly not sins that are normally sins are that the companions had to fan out and do a bunch of tasks that their backstories would make them good at. My God, if we had that every episode, I would have opinions on these companions.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. My criticisms of the episode are kind of my criticisms of all the episodes, which is the historical figure that we're talking about this episode just kind of gets their Wikipedia recited to you all the time.
Yep. That was my critique, is these annoying teachable moments.
The companions don't have anything interesting to say about our historical figure. They just keep going, whoa, Nikola Tesla invented remote controls? And you're like, yeah. I mean, that is...
What do you mean he invented Wi-Fi?
Yeah, and that's like the extent, and also the Doctor just being like, he died broke. And you're like, okay. Like, again, these are not like bad things to teach. Like, Nikola Tesla is a really cool figure. I love... Again, another like character who I was really looking forward to in a Doctor Who episode. But, you know, I don't know. It's just kind of like, it's serviceable. It's fine. I don't know that I would put it. I know you want to put it in B tier, and I will respect that. I just wonder.
I think we're going to have exactly 2 episodes in B tier, and this has to be one of them.
Are you judging it by this era or the whole show?
Oh, I think this might be a whole show B tier episode.
Really?
Yeah, because B tier is like, it's okay.
B tier for me is like, it's good. Like, C tier is like that
okay,
was
trending good.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll put it in B tier. But I want it on the record that I would put it at the top of C, grazing the taint of B tier.
Yeah. Grazing the taint, of course, yes.
Because it's not bad. It's just like it's got the regular problems.
A couple regular problems, but it skirts some other ones.
Yes, it is. Okay, yes, it is more good than bad, I think. But however, what cannot be said is for Fugitive of the Jadoon.
Poor Fugitive of the Jadoon.
So,
an episode that, say it with me, everyone, I have really negative memories of.
So we're going to quickly talk about the companions. They don't do a single thing in this episode. They each systematically get transported to another location where they stand in a line and talk with a secondary character who is Captain Jack Harkness, who you'll remember from the RTD era.
Oh.
And throughout the episode, they just get transported to his ship, and he exposits at them, and then that's all they do.
When I tell you there has never been a more empty cameo, where just like he's on a separate set, clearly on a different shooting day, with characters being spit out and thrown back in for him to just say things and give the illusion of tension. What a crazy excuse to just have him there to try and like recapture what people liked.
Yeah, he doesn't even interact with the plot of the episode. He's fully just like this weird vestigial limb. who comes
and
back.
He makes these horrible biphobic jokes.
Yeah, which is weird because he didn't really when he was first introduced. Like, he was a pansexual character, and he was a little naughty and cheeky. But, like, wow, they really Flanderize him this time.
They're just he does these almost like Family Guy cutaway-esque, like,
ooh, that's so true.
This is the worst. This is worse than that time that I was at an orgy with a bunch of Thaltaxians. You have 5 genders, and I loved them all. I'm Jack Harkness. I was ready to punch the screen.
It's so corny. But anyway, there's not much to say about that. It's so dumb. Except for the fact that they threaten us that Yaz's police background is going to come into play. And then she, at mid-sentence, gets teleported out of the situation to go be with Jack. It's so crazy.
Shall we throw it away? Shall we throw it away?
Well, we haven't even talked about the good stuff yet.
What good stuff? No.
The Doctor's plot line.
Let's throw it away.
Because I
don't remember what happens to the Doctor.
The main plot of the episode is that there is this lady named Ruth in this little English town, and the Jadoon, all the way back from the RTD era, show up, and they section off this little town because they're looking for an alien fugitive, because it's the title of the episode. And the whole episode, you're like, oh, the episode is trying to be like, oh, Ruth's husband is the alien. But, like, no, it's obviously Ruth. Again, it's this thing of, like, them trying to make a twist out of something you've guessed when it was introduced. And then, whoa, the Doctor and Ruth go for a road trip. And whoa, hang on. Ruth is the Doctor? And that's the twist.
Oh, right.
The twist of the episode is that Ruth is the Doctor. And you're like, but I've never been you before. And then Ruth is like, but I've never been you before. And that's all of their interaction. I know people are like, Jo Martin should have been the Doctor. She's so much better in the role. Can we be serious for a second? I don't think she did quite as... I don't think her version of the Doctor was written any better than Jodie's Doctor. Because literally all of her lines are just shut up. She spends the entire episode, once she's the Doctor, telling Jodie to shut up. And you're like, I agree, but like... She acts it with personality at least, I guess, which is nice. I don't know. But,
yeah, it's a wasted actress. I
yeah.
could feel that
100%.
She could have done more with better material.
100%. And then that's the setup for the finale, I guess. Is the main mystery now is, why does the Doctor... Is this a future incarnation of the Doctor? Is this a parallel world? Is this a Doctor from the past that we haven't seen before? Why doesn't anybody remember her, if that's the case, you know? And those are the questions that are being asked. The episode itself is just a bit of key jingling. It's just... I don't know. It's like... tragic, I guess.
Remember the Jadoon? I think tragic is appropriate.
Yeah.
There's worse, but not much.
Yeah, I don't know that it was like a throw it away, because it's not an episode in and of itself. It's a setup for something that comes later. And knowing what comes later, I think this is tragic.
Absolutely. Now, I want to talk about Praxeus because...
So do I.
I know that it's not great, but I am the #1 Praxeus defender. Welcome to the microplastics episode, a pretty universally hated episode in this season. One where just a giant mass of, I guess, like, what are they, possessed birds, are just like turning people into crusty, keratinous diamonds that then shatter.
The birds have been infected with a virus that they pass on to other people. They're not possessed.
Right. So people are getting attacked by flocks of birds that are actually just a metaphor for microplastics / towards the end, not really a metaphor. It's literally that plastic is organic matter and the virus has repurposed it or something like that. So because it's in all of us, it has something to feed on.
So it's funny. You're like, I am Praxeus' strongest soldier, and you don't even remember the plot. I love that for you.
Of course not. I've only watched it once and it wasn't good.
So anyway, but like, yeah, you are close. The villain of the episode is a scientist who is using Earth as a petri dish to find a cure for the Praxeus virus, and she chose Earth because of the amount of plastic and microplastics on the planet, because that's how the virus propagates, I guess. I don't know. And yeah, it's a universally hated episode, but I must be in a different universe because I don't hate it. I'm just kind of like disinterested in it. Does that make sense? Like, it's...
I think it's actually a C tier episode.
Yeah, like it's an interesting
annoying,
concept. Sorry, oh my god.
I was gonna say, yeah, sorry, it's that goddamn delay. It's annoying, but I think it's better than the pilot.
That wasn't even the delay that time. I was actually just talking over you.
Oh no, I've talked over you plenty. We're good.
But no, it's like, it's an interesting concept. It's just, again, like, there's no meat on the bone. Like, you're like, oh, this is actually like a moral quandary of the Doctor being like, oh, you can't use the planet as a petri dish, you know? And like, obviously, like, moral quandary, whatever. Like, but the Doctor doesn't even like offer to help the villain. Like, she's just like, this is wrong. And you're like, I guess, like, I don't know. Also, the side characters.
And then she runs away and dies.
And then she runs away and dies for no reason. I don't know why she ran away. Why wouldn't? Like, it's so weird. Again, it's like this thing where it's like, oh, her folly is her hubris or whatever. And it's like, no, she's just like,
her hubris is her folly.
Yeah, and you're just like, like, I don't know. She didn't have any reason to react that way and get blown up for no reason. Like, the Doctor could have just been like, hey, if you come with me, we can find like a cure together. Like, we don't need to, like, I don't know. It's such a weirdly contrived way to kill off a secondary character just because that's like the beat in a story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you know what? In this era, we're all about rote story beats with absolutely no grasp of why they happen.
Yeah. So it's a C tier.
Yeah.
In a better season, this would be the weakest episode, but in this season, it's one of the stronger ones.
Yay! And everyone hates it also.
I'm gonna put it at the top of C because I actually like it slightly more than the Witchfinders and Spyfall Part 1.
I agree, hence me being its strongest soldier.
Yeah. Now, for an episode for which I am the weakest soldier. I hate this episode so much. Can You Hear Me is our very special episode about depression. Kind of. Not really. It's not really about that.
We go to a cool location for 10 minutes and the rest is slop.
Yes, it's the Doctor drops off the companions at home and is like, I'm gonna go on my own for a bit just because I want to. I'll see you guys later. Have fun. And then she goes to Aleppo and it's empty, like the monastery. No, it's a hospital. No, it's a mental health hospital, I guess. Whatever. Aleppo, I guess, in Syria was like a hub for mental health. Which is
that's such an insane sentence.
Which like mental health treatment, I should say. Which I guess is the theme of the episode. Ooh, and the companions go back home and they have dreams that are like weird and prey on their like mental illness. I guess, I don't know. Anyway, it's not really about depression. Like, it pretends to be, but it has nothing to say about it except keep your chin up, bucko.
Yeah, make sure to go to therapy.
Yeah, the villains are, like, they're well acted. I like the performance of the villains. I like Zellin. He's cool.
Yeah, he almost seemed like too big of a deal for the Doctor.
Well, it's weird because he's literally like, I'm a god, by the way. I can teleport wherever I want. I can feast on people's bad dreams for some reason. And then they get defeated in like the last 5 minutes, and you're like, oh, okay. And they're not even defeated in a clever way. Like, they get accidentally released from prison, and then the Doctor just puts them back in prison. It's not even like anything. Like, you're just sitting there like, oh, I guess they're defeated now. Who cares?
Yeah, kind of a running theme of just like, oh, put everyone back in their bottle.
Yeah, this could have been a two-parter, like, if I were rewriting it. But then there's my favorite scene, which I kept from you when we were watching it, because I wanted to know what your thoughts were blind. Because I know there's so much discourse about this scene near the end. And so one of the dreams that the companions have is Graham. And it is pre-established that he met Grace because of his cancer. Like, he's in remission now. It's fine. But he met his wife when she was a nurse at the hospital that he went to for his cancer treatments. It's a cute story, I guess. We don't do anything with it. And he has this dream about, like, the cancer returning. And that's, like, his biggest fear in life, right? And at the end of the episode, the Doctor and him are in the TARDIS, having, like, a debrief moment. And he's like, so, like, all of the stuff that happened, like, I had a dream about my cancer returning. And I know that I'm in remission. I know that it's not going to come back. But I still have this part of me that's scared of getting sick again. And I don't really know what to do with that feeling. And the Doctor... And the Doctor goes...
Like, I'm just going to pretend I said something profound.
Well, she says, hey, Graham, listen. I'm still kind of socially awkward, and I don't really know what to say in this situation. So what I'm going to do is go to the console, think of something that I should have said an hour ago, and then think that. And that's going to have to be okay. And then Graham's like, okay, thanks, I guess. Like, it's not played that way, but it does come across that way. Like, Bradley Walsh is performing it as if he's like, yeah, I know, that's just you. But as a viewer, you're like, I would be pissed, dude.
Yeah, you're just like, wow, I guess the Doctor isn't really an aspirational character, not really a hero.
Yeah, like, previous Doctors have had something to say, even if it's not like they've at least tried to, like, help their friends emotionally in many ways. Just like Donna in series 4, she was always like, ugh, I'm dumb, I'm useless, I don't have any talents. And he's like, don't say that about yourself, shut up, you're so dumb. He didn't call her dumb, but that's me coming out. But, like, you know, I don't know, the Doctor has always had something to say for their friends when they're feeling, you know, down. And I just feel like it's so weird to have this alien who is like 1,000 years old and has had so many experiences not have any comforting words to say to one of her friends that she's known for like 20 episodes or something. I don't know. It's such a weirdly misguided... I get what they were trying to do, but it's so misguided. I don't know. It was gross. I want to put this one in... I don't know.
I think it belongs in tragic.
Yeah, I guess it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I get what it was trying to do, but wow, did it miss the mark on every level.
It's worse than D tier.
Yeah.
But there's, like, redeemable elements.
Yeah. Speaking of redeemable elements, we have the Haunting of Villa Diodati. Another historic... Where
they handle the night that Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein.
Yes, and the supporting cast is all really good. I really like the performances of all the secondary cast. The Doctor finally gets a scene to shine. Like, after 20 episodes or whatever, the Doctor has a standoff with our villain of the episode, and it's, like, really well written. It's, like, shockingly well written. And you're like, whoa, this is good. What's happening? The companions still don't get much to do, but, like, they're still better written, so you're like, whatever. And
I think this is our second B tier
yeah.
in a way.
It's got spooky
We're
atmosphere.
gonna have to.
Nope, go on.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it has like spooky atmosphere. I think until the reveal that it's a Cyberman, like it's good. I like the spooky ghost story stuff happening. And then the Cyberman is revealed, and he's like this half-formed, half-finished Cyberman who's like kind of gross looking, and he's half man, half machine. And Mary Shelley's like, "You're like a modern Prometheus," and it's the worst line in the episode. And it's fine. It's good. I don't know. I like this episode well enough. I think it's verges on being a little Great Men of History with Percy Shelley of all people, instead of Mary Shelley. I don't know. It's very confusing near the end. But overall, it's like a B tier.
Yeah.
It's fine.
His destiny is like set in stone. Yeah, I think this is like the definition of the era's second B tier episode.
Yeah. Because the whole thing is like Percy Shelley gets infected by an alien machine or whatever, and the doctor's like, "Ooh, I have to choose between saving one man or destroying literature forever," or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, Mary Shelley had more of an impact on literature than Percy Shelley. It's fine, whatever. B tier. I like it more than Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror.
Oh, well, then it certainly belongs there.
Yeah.
Ascension of the Cybermen, I remember being... I forget this episode almost entirely, except that they go to a battlefield where Cybermen have just finished killing almost everyone, and they run around for a little bit.
This episode actively pisses me off, like on so many different levels. This is the episode where Haunting of Villa Diodati is a secret part 1 for a 3-part finale. So our Cyberman Ashad, our half-formed Cyberman Ashad, comes back, and he's the main villain of this episode. And the Doctor brings the 3 companions into the year 7 billion or whatever, and just sort of drops on them, "Hey, by the way, the humans and the Cybermen have been at war for like 1 million years, and there are only 7 humans left in the universe." And the companions...
I hate this episode, I hate this episode, I hate this episode, I hate this episode.
And the companions' biggest reaction is, "What? 7 humans? That's crazy." When they should have had a mental breakdown, because that is not enough to repopulate anything.
That would make me feel, I mean, it's a long time in the future.
Sure.
But it would make me feel like, you're telling me that, like, that's a guarantee that all my descendants die, are, like, wiped out.
Yeah.
Which we all assume will happen at the heat death of the universe, I guess, or whatever. But, like, that would make me feel really existential.
I would have a bit of a screaming, crying, throwing up moment. Just a tiny one.
Yeah.
Like, it would be like, yeah, existential is the perfect word. But again, these companions are not allowed to feel anything truly negative. So you're just left with them going, "That's not a lot of people." And that's...
They're like, "Whoa, why so few, Doctor?" And it's like, they were all killed, Ryan.
Yeah.
They died in the war.
And also, I don't know, like, it seems like a cheap way to raise stakes, but it's in that way where it's like, the whole universe is dead, and the stakes are so high that you can't care. So, like, you're like, we're talking about the extinction of the human race, and we just have nothing to say about it. And the 7 humans left alive get systematically picked off over the course of the episode as well.
It's so dour. It's like, I don't know. I don't think Chris Chibnall knows where happiness or darkness comes from, so it seems like he's always accidentally making weird stakes. And this is one case where he just makes an episode so grim that I clocked out mentally, because...
How can you? Yeah.
If the story's gonna be grim on top of having thin writing and a nonsensical plot, which I'd come to expect by this point, why should I watch?
Yeah, it's like, it's depressing. Especially because the 7 humans left alive aren't interesting people.
So that's the one where there's the old man guarding the gate.
No, that's that's next.
Oh, fuck.
I know.
That shit doesn't make sense either.
No, Ascension of the Cyberman is dumb. I literally don't remember that much about it, except that Ashad, this half-formed Cyberman, comes back, and it turns out he looks way dumber in the harsh light of day. Because he looks really cool when you're in a villa during a storm at nighttime. But in the harsh light of day, he looks significantly lamer. And I literally don't remember, except for the fact that Ryan and the Doctor get separated from Graham and Yaz. That's it. Oh, and the Doctor has that great line where she talks to Ashad and she's like, "You're a Cyberman who hates yourself. That's what I call an inner conflict." And it's just Chris Chibnall patting himself on the back for the character he created.
Throw it away. This episode is now throw it away.
Yeah, no, I actively hate this episode. It makes me sad. And also, speaking of which, the Timeless Children. It is.
Oh no! Is this where we reveal that Gallifrey is destroyed?
Well, we reveal that Gallifrey was destroyed at the end of Spyfall because the Master leaves the Doctor a text, a hologram that's like, "Hey, by the way, I killed everyone on Gallifrey and destroyed it." And you're like, "Okay."
You're like, "Oh, by yourself? Cool. I guess the Time Lords really suck, and the fact that you were a formidable villain just for being one of them was a coincidence."
Yeah.
You're just really powerful.
Ascension of the Cybermen ends with the cliffhanger of the Doctor and Ryan getting to a portal that opens up to a random place in the universe every time it opens. So there's no way anything plot contrived can happen, right? Like, this has to be logical. Like, logically things need to happen. So they get to the portal, and it opens on Gallifrey immediately. The place where the finale is set. And then the Master jumps through, and he's like, "Guess what, guys? This is the trailer for the finale." And then we get to the finale, and it's just a PowerPoint. It's just a PowerPoint that ends with "You're adopted," basically.
And he was so angry to learn that she was adopted that he freaking destroyed...
He school shootered the entire planet.
It wasn't. We're saying so many words that could get you banned if you were a Twitch affiliate. You're gonna have to censor that.
Yeah.
But like he child that burns the village to feel its warmth. The entire of Gallifrey, because he's angry that another character that he's obsessed with is adopted, is actually from another universe. Like, let's take inventory. I hate this twist. I hate the reaction to it. I hate the characters. I hate what characters do in response to it. I hate how we found out about it. I didn't enjoy the montage. The lore implications are bad. Throw it away.
Yeah, the Doctor is revealed to be a magical, godlike alien from another dimension who gave the Time Lords... was abused medically by her adoptive mom. And the Time Lords now can regenerate because of the Doctor. It's so misguided. I can't believe it. Throw it away. Also, it's weird.
We make fun of Moffat for making the Doctor too special.
I know. Also, apparently Chris Chibnall wrote this episode because he's adopted. And he said that he drew from his experiences as an adopted child to write this episode. And apologize to your parents, Chris. Apologize to your goddamn parents. That's so mean.
I just feel like Chris Chibnall's like creative response to anything has never made sense to me.
I don't get where his head is at. The companions don't do anything. Don't worry about it. At the cliffhanger is... Oh, right. And then the Doctor thinks really hard because she's trapped in the Matrix. So the matrix of the Time Lords, which is like this big database, which is full of 1 billion years of Time Lord history. And she thinks really hard and breaks it because she's the timeless child. And she has so many memories in her little brain. She has so many big...
It's horrible.
It's bad. You don't...
Oh! And she tells an NPC to stay behind to make the explosion happen. And she's like, no, you can't sacrifice yourself. And he's like, no, I want to. And she's like, you're a true hero. Goodbye.
That's the second
note.
She says you're a true hero the second time that happens.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, everyone. Minor spoiler. This plot point happens twice in a row. And it's worse the second time.
The Master is holding this gun, or not a gun, sorry, a trigger for a bomb that will destroy all organic matter on the planet. And he hands it to the Doctor, and he's like, do it, do it, do it. I bet you're not going to do it. And it's so annoying. And then this old man that we met earlier in the episode comes out of nowhere and is like, Doctor, let me do it. And she's like, no. And he's like, please? And she's like, yeah. And then all matter gets exploded on the planet, and the Master is standing right in front of it. Don't forget that. Keep that in your brain. And then the Doctor gets kidnapped by the Jadoon, and the companions and the last 2 surviving humans make it back to modern-day Earth. And
we're beginning the super fun prison arc.
And then there's a prison arc is generous, but we'll get there. This episode is actually like dookie. Like, it's the worst piece of television I've ever seen, not just of the show. Like, it's so boring. It's just a PowerPoint. It's literally just a PowerPoint. And then, Ryan's arc this season is that he couldn't play basketball in episode 1. And in this episode, he gets a basketball-shaped bomb that he throws at the Cybermen. He swishes it at the Cybermen, and it blows up. And that's the end of his arc. I know, again, I don't want to say, like, ooh, black people can never be good at basketball. But, like, that's his arc of the season. Like, we can't brush past that.
We can't be doing this. We can't, you guys.
Okay, we can't. Oh god, okay, we're gonna move on because there's so much. The Cybermasters, when the Cybermen use dead Time Lord tissue to be able to regenerate, and it doesn't make any. Whatever, we're moving on. It's so stupid.
Yeah, there's so much like lore assassination.
What's funny though is I feel like we're gonna breeze through the last little bit because I have so little to say about. I mean, I have a lot to say, but I don't want to. Revolution of the Daleks. Bad. I hate this episode. It's fine, but it's also horrible. The Doctor...
Oh, isn't this... Oh, no. I have a personal bone to pick, because this is the one where, like, the Doctor fights fire with fire.
Yeah. Ooh, I hate... Yeah, she brought in the snakes to eat the rats or whatever.
She brings in more Daleks of a slightly different kind to, like, stop Daleks on Earth. There's so much wasting time while we get constant cutaways to, like, innocent people in the street getting gunned down by Daleks every second. The Daleks basically get enough time to, like, deplete the Earth of life. And the Doctor's like, let's bring in more Daleks to fight those Daleks. So we hit pause on the... world-shattering trauma of it all.
Yeah. Again, like Spyfall Part 2, the companions are on their own because the Doctor is in prison, doing her prison arc, and you would think that would give them time to do something. No, they just stand around and wait for the Doctor to show up. And then she does, and then they go back to standing in a straight line.
They don't even rescue her, Lauren.
They don't even rescue her. It's disgusting. And then the Doctor, my favorite part of the episode is when the Doctor brings a TARDIS, which we know that TARDIS is not her TARDIS, a different one. And we know that TARDISes are semi-sentient, kind of organotech, biotech machines.
Yeah. Living things.
So she brings in a TARDIS that we don't know, and gets all of the... is able to trick all of the Daleks to fly into the TARDIS and then crunches it up like a little a paper bag and then sends it to the void.
Yeah, like, we get this goofy animation of just clown-carring Daleks.
Yeah. Oh, God, it's so stupid. And then Graham and Ryan leave at the end of the episode. And...
Which, you know what? Fierce. Slay.
Good. A tier. Goated with the sauce. No, this is D.
Oh my god.
This is D. This is D tier. This is like...
For me, it's throw it away.
Yeah, you're right. It's throw it
I
away.
passionately hate this episode.
Yeah. Also,
horrible.
Jack Robertson from the Arachnids in the episode, so I guess it's fitting that he is in Throw It Away twice. Halloween Apocalypse.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, Halloween Apocalypse.
Halloween. Like trick or treat.
She doesn't even say that. She just goes, Halloween, trick or treat.
And because we later realized that that's the writer's version of planting a seed, because the audience needs to have that in their minds when the enemy is trick or treat themed or something.
Yeah, he just says trick or treat to the doctor at some point. Anyway, okay, so the Halloween Apocalypse is the beginning of a 6-episode arc, kind of, not really. And it introduces us to a new companion who I literally don't want to talk about because I hate him so much. I know people like Dan because he's dumb and funny. I hate him so much. He's so useless.
Yeah, you're actually slightly too mean to Dan. He doesn't need to be in the show whatsoever. He's superfluous, but he's just scouse and like slightly whatever.
I don't think I'm too mean to him. I think everyone else is too nice. He's so nothing. He's so bad. He's dumb in that way that's like actively unhelpful. And I don't like that in a story. He's an idiot ball character. He doesn't react.
It's okay though, because he never gets to carry the idiot ball because he never does anything important to the plot.
But he also never reacts to... I mean, I guess none of the companions do, but he Giga never reacts. It's crazy. Halloween Apocalypse is just like a mess. Like, I don't know. It's just the first episode of an arc that's setting up all the threads, and it's just... I don't know. It's like D tier. I don't know. It's fine. I don't know. Tragic.
I think D is fair.
Yeah.
Because I remember feeling optimistic at the beginning of this run that we were going to like try something new.
Yeah.
And we were going to do sort of a longer format and everything was going to flow together.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what happens next.
I need to know what happens next.
War of the Sontarans is a competent kind of episode.
It suffers for being squeezed into this larger plot we're now doing, so make note that it's already stumbling in its longer format, because this would have been a bangin' standalone episode.
Bangin' is generous.
No, but I really liked Mary Seacole.
Mary Seacole is excellent. The Doctor gets to kind of act like a person in this episode and have a perspective. She is fine. Jodie and the woman who plays Mary Seacole, they are doing a good job. I like both of them in this episode.
Yeah, maybe I was just a little too kind to it because I was so chuffed to learn about Mary Seacole.
I mean, there are positives in this episode. However, I think the negatives, again, unfortunately outweigh it. So the one big problem is the way that the companions exit the episode. Because Dan and Yaz, who's still here, get teleported away into different locations and times to sort of spread the story out. But we don't know why. Like, they literally just start to vanish. And then the Doctor's like, what's happening? And they're like, we don't know. And then they're gone. And we never get to learn why they vanished. And it's almost like the writer...
Holy shit.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
I forgot about that. I forgot.
And it's almost like the writer admitting to us, just being like, I need these characters in these other locations, and this is how we're getting them there. You're just going to have to shut up and accept it.
Which is the episode where they, like, hike up the mountain range?
Episode 5.
Okay, so they're not in the Himalayas yet.
No, we're going to get to that.
Okay, cool. Because I'm gonna take a shit in front of everyone when it's time.
The other thing is that the Sontarans are just kind of dumb in this episode, and I don't like the characterization of villains being dumb. I don't think it's fun to watch ever. And also, this is a race of clone, basically soldiers who have been trained from clone birth to be soldiers. So the way that they act in this episode is really baffling because they're making blindingly stupid decisions. And then the Doctor has this moment where at the end, this, like, the mean general guy blows up all the Sontaran ships, and she's like, you shouldn't have done that. And everyone else is just sitting, like, the audience is sitting there going, no, he's fine. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, they pull that move again, and I still disagree.
Yeah, they tried to do the Christmas invasion thing of like, oh, they were leaving. And it's like, but again, at least with the David Tennant era, the episode at least left it a little ambiguous. Like, just the tiniest bit, whether, you know... And also, Harriet Jones gets to come back and say, like, I would have done it again. And it's really iconic. Whereas this time, again, it just feels like a retread, and it's just a weaker one for it. So this is like...
You sort of talked me down into D tier.
I think this is like top of D tier. I don't like...
Top of D tier.
Like, bottom of C, top of D. Like, maybe we could put it in the bottom of C just to fill out that row, but like...
I'd rather have an honest diorama.
Yeah, like, I don't hate the episode. I hate other ones later more, but, like, it's not great.
Speaking of which, Once Upon a Time?
A muddled, confusing mess. I have watched this episode 5 times, and I'm just like, this is nothing. This is purely nothing. The Doctor is... trapped. Okay, it's doing a thing that I wish Doctor Who would do more, which is be experimental with its form, but it doesn't know how to be experimental in a satisfying way. And also, the resolution of the plot is again very obvious and very not even obvious, just like not clever at all, because there are these like beings who control the flow of time, which is crazy, OP. And the 3 of them get like destroyed or something. And so the Doctor goes into the time stream, and the whole episode is her trying to figure out how to fix the time stream. And she's being greeted by these visions of these beings. And she's like...
It's coming back to me now. This is the one where we get that achingly unnatural scene of Yaz playing video games on the couch with her sister, isn't it?
Yes, and we're going to talk about that right after. Because the resolution of the episode... Because the resolution of the episode is just the Doctor going, just put 3 more. Just replace the ones that were destroyed. And they're like, you're right, Doctor. And then they do that, and it's so stupid. Again, it's just this thing of like, why are you not clever at all? Like, this is so crazy. But yes.
Is this tragic type shit?
I think this is tragic. I think this is a tragic episode. But yes, there is a scene where Yaz is in her time stream and she's playing video games with her sister, and her sister's like, I need to get good at video games so the boy I like knows that I can use my fingers real good. It's so nasty. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this
scene hurt me.
To me, this is tragic. I'm trying to like not go into the plot of the season, even though it's supposed to be a connected story, because unfortunately, it's not a connected story.
Yeah, so basically, like, to anyone wondering, like, you say it's an arc over 6 episodes, what's the arc? A giant force that is the nothing from Neverending Story is eating the whole universe, and...
we have to stop it.
There's a reason it's... Yeah, you gotta stop it.
And
a bunch of crazy, zany events happen around that, but a lot of the details do not survive scrutiny.
No.
Like, they just don't add up to a whole picture in the end, and all that we're left with is a really stupid reveal, which we will get to.
The season was originally intended to be 10 episodes, like the first 2, but then it was cut down to 8 episodes, and then down to 6. And instead of being, a writer and retooling his idea to fit 6 episodes, Chibnall just decided to be like, nah, let's keep doing them all. Let's just do 10 episodes worth of content in 6 episodes. No one will mind. This is gonna be this is gonna rip total ass, dude. This is gonna be sick. And it wasn't. It wasn't sick at all. Village of the Angels.
I did not.
Sorry.
Village of the Angels. I am gonna shit on this episode pretty hard.
Everybody, this is like people were like, this is it. This is the sauce. Like when this episode aired, fans were like, this is it. This is the pizza pie. This is one of the best episodes of Doctor Who ever made. And I'm like, did we watch the same episode? It's got cool vibes. Everything else sucks about this episode. I don't know how to tell you.
Yeah, it's neat for like 10 minutes, but whenever we bring the Angels back, we kind of hurt them.
Yes.
So we get more Angel mechanics, which I never want. Guess what? It's Chibnall at the helm, so those mechanics that we do learn don't make sense. Like, if you get angeled and then you're angeled again, you turn to stone.
No, you blow up.
Fall into little pieces.
Yeah. Like, again, it's the Praxeus thing, where it's like, instead of just dying, they have to turn to stone and explode.
Yeah.
But yeah, this episode is weird because it's like about this like little village that is being accosted by angels, weeping angels, and you're like, cool setup to a story. Like it's a little base under siege in a village, and the angels are advancing, but like they don't do anything interesting. I don't know. And then it's revealed that the village is built on like a grave of weeping angels. Somehow
a weeping angel graveyard,
and there's a little girl there, and her name is Peggy, and everyone's looking for Peggy, and there's this old woman in the village who's looking for Peggy, and she's like, I'm an old woman in the village, where's Peggy? Or she's not looking for Peggy, because the twist is she is Peggy, because obviously she is. And the weeping angels touch Dan and Yaz and send them back in time where they meet little Peggy, and they get to a weird hole in the universe where young Peggy and old Peggy can talk, and that's never explained because it's just a writing device to get the two characters to talk to each other. It's bad. It's like sloppy. It's like not good. I don't know why people like this episode so much.
Yeah, I think I would put it in tragic because it's fundamentally tragic whenever you do that to the weeping angels.
And again, has nothing to do with the overarching story of the season.
Well, except that the angels are here because they're feeding on the energy released from the universe being eaten, and also they turn the Doctor into one. Are we going to mention that?
I forgot. So the whole plot is like the Doctor is trying to save this one angel who's being hunted by her own kind, and then the angel turns the Doctor over, and then the angels turn the Doctor into an angel to transport her, and that's like your Evanescence like AMV like moment, and it's horrible, and I don't have anything else to say about it. It's bad. It's so corny.
Oh, the worst thing is that the angels are actually agents of this secret society.
Oh, don't worry. Just this weird cosmic force that used to be unknowable is just sort of like signing paperwork to join a secret Time Lord society. Whatever.
The secret Time Lord society is so annoying, and the fact that they hired weeping angels is more annoying.
Like, I don't know. I hate this episode. Ooh. Now, the last 2 episodes, I literally can't distinguish them. Like, I just want to talk about them together because I actually don't get what they were going for with either of these 2 episodes. Survivors of the Flux and the Vanquishers is like not a 2-part finale, but the episodes are so inscrutable and incoherent that it might as well be a 2-parter. Because I don't know what happens in either of them.
I mean, let's talk. Survivors of the Flux, there's 2 things I remember. Basically, a bunch of refugees on a planet all get vaporized. and
Yeah.
it's pointless, and one of them gets saved, and we just have to watch it. We just watch the villains running around, like, killing people.
Yeah.
And also, the companions who are sent back in time hike to the Himalayas and leave a message written in limestone for the Doctor that obviously the Doctor can't act on.
No. It's
And
even
that's
better.
it.
It's even better than that. Because in the modern day, there are these dog people that are in spaceships around the Earth, and they're each assigned one human to save them from the flux, the big fart cloud from the Neverending Story. And then, so the companions are trapped in the 1850s, so they go to the Himalayas to talk to a shaman who's the most annoying character on the entire world. People found him funny, I don't know how. And then they go to the Great Wall of China because it can be seen from space. And they write a message to Dan's dog person to come pick them up.
Right.
And the dog man sees the message, and he says to himself, "I can't time travel, you idiot." And that's the end of the plot line of that episode for the companions.
Like, they do all of that, and then it's like the companions gained nothing and wasted their time in the 1800s for an entire episode.
And they don't even bond with each other. That's the crazy part. Like, Dan and Yaz don't even have words to say to each other about the crazy situation they're in. They're just on an adventure, and it's normal.
Oh, they bond off screen, like everything interesting that happens in Chibnall's era.
Oh, right. And the Doctor is on a spaceship outside of the universe with her adoptive mom, who gets instantly dissolved by the real villains of the season. Like, as an outsider, this entire segment...
Egg people, Fabergé babies.
Yeah, the Fabergé egg babies. As an outsider, this entire segment sounds AO3 adjacent. That's what this whole season is. That's what this whole era is. It's just AO3 shit. And that's the episode. Like, I don't know. And then the final episode, I legitimately don't know how to talk about it. Because it's a mess. It's beyond mess.
I mean, there's all the gates and the doorways and the tunnels being built by that guy who built a lot of tunnels in the
Joseph
late
Williamson.
1800s.
Continuing the trend of this era having cool historical figures and nothing cool to do with them. Ooh. And then the Centaurans come back because we don't have enough villains. And then there's the Grand Serpent who's chasing Vinder. And Swarm and Azure want to destroy the universe so that they can recreate it and keep watching it die. And then Azure goes to the Doctor and she's like, why is life better than death? And the Doctor's like, because life is life and that's good. And then you're just like, it's so...
I freaking love this. Like, okay, the sins I remember from this episode that I think will convince us to put both in Throw It Away is, one, this is the episode that the Doctor gleefully deceives and genocides all her enemies by throwing them into the nothing force that's eating everything. It is the episode where we find out that the whole reason the Force eating the universe was unleashed is because the secret Time Lord Society discovered that the Doctor knew too much. And instead of shooting the Doctor with a revolver, which would always have worked, they decided to demolish the entire universe and move on to a new one so their secrets would not spill. And finally, it is the episode where one of the villains gives a really almost compelling speech about how there's no difference to her between oblivion and life, and the Doctor doesn't have a good rebuttal for it. She just replies with a platitude that left me convinced that maybe oblivion is kind of based, and maybe they should let the universe get consumed. And so I ended the episode hating the protagonist, realizing that the season arc had happened for the stupidest reason imaginable, and also agreeing with the villains.
It was because the Doctor was giving hope to too many people.
Throw them in the garbage. Throw them in the garbage right now.
Like, these are such...
Both of them.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And if you think that we were, like, sounded confusing, watch the season. Tell me if you could recap it in a timely manner.
Sit down for 6 hours of television and see how you feel. You don't need to watch the rest of the Doctor Who's era to like, really grasp. It all comes out of nowhere.
Oh, wow. Okay, last 3 episodes. Eve of the Daleks, Aisling B, Time Loop. Both wasted.
I think this is...
This is like C tier.
How do I... Yeah, this is C tier. I completely agree. This is like an episode that it's like, I'm glad that you guys are expressing an interest in time travel, the thing your show is about. Here's a cookie.
Except for the fact...
It sort of sucked.
Yeah, except for the fact that the time loop mechanics don't make really any sense, and they actually kill the tension, which is not great.
Yeah, they break their own rules immediately. It does not hold up to scrutiny, as I'm fond of saying.
Yeah, the time loop is that, like, every time the Doctor and companions die, the loop resets, but the loop is getting smaller every time they reset, which is supposed to be, like, raising the stakes, but it doesn't really... And every time the characters die, they're always, like, standing still and accepting it because they know that it's a time loop, so you don't get any, like, tension of, like, them trying to live because oblivion is better than life, as the Doctor has shown us.
The actors even get bored of acting out getting shot.
Yeah, like, there are 2 scenes where maybe, but, like, no. The Daleks are just shouting, they're annoying, and also they die because 2 of the Daleks die because they corner one of the secondary characters, and as they're about to fire, he ducks.
It's horrible.
Wait, this is D tier. This is D tier. I can't let that slide.
One thing we've forgotten to mention is that every season there has been one time where there will be enemies on either side who are deadly robots of combat. And they'll be like, what do we do? And then they'll duck, and the robots will shoot each other.
It happened in the Series 11 finale.
Yeah. So, it happened once in a season, then they did it again in the finale thinking it would be funny. And I think this is the 4th time that they're doing it.
I think it's the
not
second...
played for laughs.
I think it's like the 2nd or 3rd, but, like, yeah, it is incessant. It feels incessant.
It's the 3rd because I know they do it in the Planet Amazing Race episode.
Oh, I don't remember that. Maybe. It could... No, it was the same robots in the finale.
I swear to you, we let them get away with it 3 times, and that downgrades this episode to D tier, no question.
Yeah, that shit is so lame. Also, Aisling B is such a charming and funny actor. Ooh, and then she gets paired romantically with a stalker. And there's this amazing scene where her it's set in a storage facility. So it's all these storage units, and this guy, he comes every New Year's Eve to put something in the storage thing because he has a crush on Aisling B. And they go into his storage unit, and he has stuff that his ex-girlfriends have left. And Yaz is like, are you a serial killer? Like, your ex-girlfriends are alive, right? Like, you don't just collect the stuff of your dead girlfriends. And he's like, no, I'm still, like, I'm just normal and weird, like, whatever. And then Aisling B is like, you're a really weird dude. And Yaz is like, whoa, that's crazy.
She's like, how dare you?
That was really harsh.
Nice.
That was really harsh. And it's like, you're
being a bit of a shrewish bitch, Aisling B.
And I'm not joking, this isn't a different scene. Like, no time passes between these 2 interactions. It's the same scene. Ew, D tier. Lower than Rosa. D-tier. Lower than Demons of the Punjab. Nasty. And then and then Aisling B ends up with that guy in the end. They end up dating, and it's fine. Legend of the Sea Devils.
Are we throwing it away? Are we going to throw it away? Are you going to throw it away? Are you going to throw it away? He just gets up and leaves. Legend of the Sea Devils.
This made me black pill on the show. I'm not joking. I saw this episode and I thought, maybe I'm done with Doctor Who. If this is all it's ever going to be, maybe I should stop watching this show. And I literally don't have anything... Like, my heart is pounding thinking about this episode. I don't want to talk about it. It sucks.
I'm actually voting to skip it because I don't remember it very well, except that the Doctor pulls off that lets an NPC sacrifice himself in her place shit for the second time after what I remember being a really joyless slog that also wastes a historical character I was really pumped for.
It was my first time watching Doctor Who on my phone because I was so fucking bored the whole time. I'm like, we're moving on. Like, I can't talk about this episode or else we'll be here for another 3 hours. Okay, finally, The Power of the Doctor, Jodie's regeneration episode. People like it. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm being so mean. But I truly hate this episode. I don't think it's a fun send-off. I think it's an appropriate send-off because it's about as bad as everything else in this era. But, like, it's got Cybermen, it's got Daleks, it's got the Master, it's got the Fugitive Doctor, it's got the Timeless Child, kind of. It's got Ace, it's got Tegan, who are previous companions from the 80s. It's got, nothing. It's so nothing. Yaz is there, I guess. Dan leaves within the first 15 minutes because he just decides he doesn't want to be here anymore. Which I guess is how all the companions leave this era. Oh my god, we haven't even discussed that the Yaz and the Doctor are dating kind of now. Not really.
Ooh, during 2 episodes ago, there was this skin crawl inducing
Eve of the Daleks.
Yeah, just like, I felt so gaslit as the show suddenly went, so, that simmering chemistry we've been building up between these two over time. And I'm like, what? No. What? What chemistry? What? No.
I remember watching it for the first time, because there's a scene where Dan and Yaz are talking, and Dan's like, have you told her how you feel? And she's like...
And I'm like, what do you mean how you feel?
Yeah.
I can't emphasize enough that we have not seen any micro-acting, any implication, not so much as a furtive glance, no tremor of the voice, not a single skin-to-skin touch between these characters. They are coworkers. They are coworkers who would not invite each other to lunch.
Yeah.
Like, if they're like, oh, do you want to go to Chili's with the rest of the group? And, like, Yaz would be like, I'm all right.
Yeah.
Like, that is their relationship, I swear to you.
And no one can convince me otherwise. I'm sorry, little AO3 lesbians, you're not getting this one. I won't let you have it.
Y'all deserve better lesbian representation. You shouldn't have to watch stuff that you invented in your heads get vomited onto screen by someone who reads your fanfic.
And they have zero chemistry. The arc is just the Doctor lying to Yaz and telling her to stop asking questions, and Yaz being like, but I love you. And you're like, this is horrible. So, and that was introduced in Eve of the Daleks. This final episode decides
Remember Rose?
I know, but we can't get into that.
Oh my gosh.
So Power of the Doctor is this big feature-length regeneration episode, and Jodie and Yaz's relationship is not touched on at all at any point. Even though it was set up in Eve of the Daleks, and I guess concluded in in Legend of the Sea Devils? I don't know what they were thinking. But basically the Doctor regenerates and leaves Yaz by being like, hey, I'm about to die, and I kind of want to do it alone. Can you, like, leave? And Yaz is like, yeah, how can I care at this point? And she leaves, and it's a tearful goodbye that I feel nothing for. Remember Rose on a Beach? Remember Rose on a Beach?
Oh my gosh.
We
look what they took away from us.
Yeah, never forget what they took from you. And literally the plot of this episode is so stupid, and it doesn't matter. Like, the Master is here, and he wants the Daleks and Cybermen to help him with his plan. And the Doctor's like, no, you can't do that. That's killing people or whatever. And the volcanoes are involved. Graham comes back, but not Ryan. And I think Ryan didn't come back because the actor was, like, not happy with the way the fandom treated him. Which is, you know, he should not be blamed for the writer's follies.
Yeah. But,
yeah, it's so stupid, and it's supposed to be this, like, big fan servicey send-off, and it's just bad. The Doctor confronts kind of Ace and Tegan, previous companions who left under not amicable circumstances, as we're told, but that's never really touched upon. I don't know, like, they bring back Kate Lethbridge Stewart, and she doesn't have much to do, and she's like one of the best characters. Wow, oh my god. It's like, I remember watching this, and I just remember being like, please land her regeneration episode, even though I knew they weren't going to, and they didn't. And no, I hate fan service. You don't get to just not tell a story and tell me to be happy about it because you're, like, bringing back old doctors and, like, old... And then the Master takes over her body to ruin her reputation when he could have just done that because they're Time Lords. It's so stupid.
Yeah, I have to leave this one to you to review entirely because... And this is awkward, but... It's the most recent episode of Doctor Who I've ever watched, and I can't remember anything about it except for the two companions duking it out in an office.
Yeah. The Master's entire plot is that he wants to blow up the Earth, I guess, but his main plot is to steal the Doctor's clothing and pretend to be her, even though he's a Time Lord and he can regenerate. Like, the Time Lords can regenerate, so why doesn't he just say that he's the Doctor? I don't know.
Yeah,
What a stupid, stupid finale. Poor Jodie Whittaker. You know, she deserved so much better than this garbage. And then she regenerates at the end, and it's okay. She says, tag, you're it, as her final line, and it's very embarrassing. And...
But not as embarrassing as the prior regeneration.
Oh my god, that's true. At least her speech wasn't 10 million years long. But yeah, so Jodie gets an okay regeneration scene, and then she regenerates into David Tennant, and that's exciting.
I'm excited.
Yeah, you should be. I've watched everything that comes after, because that's the concept of these reviews, is that I've rewatched all these episodes and you're completely blind. But yeah, this episode I'm going to put in tragic because it is. I don't know. It's just such a appropriate but sad way to end this era with just a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah.
For an era that started off with the intention of bringing, like, a new vibe to Doctor Who and, like, only original villains and, like, all this, like, new stuff. The era...
Stuff that sounds good on paper and necessary.
Yeah, but the era ends on the Daleks and the Cybermen and the Masters and the Time Lords and Ace and Tegan and Unit and all this, like, fan wanky stuff that doesn't mean anything.
The whole era really ends up feeling like watching Chibnall come in with ideas and being forced to slowly walk them all back.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically. It's sad. I don't know. I'm glad I never have to talk about or watch these episodes again, and that's really sad. I don't want to feel that way about this show.
About your favorite show.
Because there are even episodes in Moffat's era that I'm like, I like to rewatch these just because they're good episodes. But in this one, I'm like, even the ones that I like Haunting of Villa Diodati and Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror, I'm like, I'm okay. Like, that sucks. That's a sad feeling. I don't take any pleasure in that.
Yeah. It's too bad, but hopefully things are getting brighter already.
Yeah. I mean, I've been watching the new season and I'm really liking it. So, I think you'll feel energized by the things to come.
Oh, I can't wait to be judgmental and terrible like I always am.
Exactly. Let's end this portion with you telling me your hopes and expectations and dreams of the future.
My hopes and expectations are that the aching wound in my heart that is Donna Noble's ending, which I know hit hard at the time and had resonance and themes, I hope that we can put a Band-Aid on it and, restore in her some of, the magic that she got to be and experience. She's, such an incredible companion. And then after that, I want the show to do a hard reset and change its format.
Okay.
I don't want the implications of the choices made in this universe to haunt us for even a second longer.
Right.
And I want there to be more historical episodes and more costume changes and just companions that do things, feel things, and take a fundamental interest in the wonder around them so that it all feels less rehearsed and rote.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, how this era felt.
They're in a goddamn time machine. How are they not excited at all times?
Yeah, exactly. There was only, the cardboard cutout of a sense of adventure in this whole era, and I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, I agree. Well, you're going to get a lot of costume changes. Thanks for being a part of this. We're probably not going to do another one of these for a long time, because the new era isn't even done yet. So this might be the last stream like this we do.
Ooh, another era smashed.
Yeah. If we break up, I guess. If we break up, this is the very last type of this stream we'll ever do.
Yeah. But if we lock in for life, we'll probably still be
We'll probably do this
we'll do
once.
one in 5 years.
Yeah, once Shooty's era is done. Okay. I'm gonna debrief and let you go, and then I'll be. I'll probably make myself
a pleasure to be invited. Goodbye.
Bye. Yeah, this era just kind of. I don't know. I feel like I've said everything I want to. Actually, that's the problem. Is I haven't said everything I want to say. There's so much more. Every episode, I could just do a 3-hour critique of every single episode. And part of the reason we started flying by near the end was partially because we were coming up on 3 hours, and I'm like, okay, Ferret doesn't want to be a part of this for 3 full other hours, right? But also because her final season, which a lot of people hail as her best one, is the sloppiest and most inconsistent and mind-boggling season of television I've ever seen in my life. So it's hard to linger at any point. But yeah, I don't know. It's rough. I have so much more I want to say, but you can't sit here for hours and hours. Listen, if Ferret wanted to, I would have sat here all day. A 24-hour stream breaking down every single episode. But can't really do that. It is funny, though, that we hit 3 hours with fewer episodes than the eras before have ever had. We used to have 13 episodes a season, then down to 12, and now we're at 10 episodes a season. Look at this list. Jodie's era is 31 episodes. 31 episodes. And we had 3 hours to say about it. because of its flaws. That's crazy. And I wasn't even done. I could have kept going. Crazy. Seems like you could show it to me in almost any order and I just have to believe you. Honestly, her final season, you could just watch that in any order and you would have the same amount of information that we did. I mean, kind of. And honestly, even the first 2 seasons, barring the openings and the like the finales and the premieres of the seasons, you could just watch the middle parts again in any order because the characters don't ever progress. They don't learn anything. They don't change or grow. They pretend to. And sometimes they forget to pretend to. Maybe one day, maybe like I'll get back into streaming and I'll just start playing Project Zomboid and just I'll have every stream be about 1 episode. Just like pick a month, stream every single day for 31 days and just rant for 3 hours about a single episode a day. I can't imagine anybody enjoying that. But I would. I don't think I would, actually. That would suck.